Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Dota players around the world. Tonight we have got Epoch Esports versus LeetPro on this rather chilly evening on this Tuesday. I am Jubba, joined by no other than Skaapie. It has been a while since we have been behind the mic together. I hope you have been well and doing well.
Yeah, I can't complain. It is a bit of a crisp evening, but we'll survive. Just try and keep ourselves warm with slight movements, maybe. But yeah, looking forward to this game. Epoch Gaming going up against LeetPro. I mean, one of the players saying that they have a bit of bad ping on LeetPro's side, so they could play into advantage for Epoch, potentially. Still a very good team that can make some good maneuvers around LeetPro. LeetPro is definitely the favorites here, I'd say, overall, but
Well,
Epoch,
they've had some massive pickups in the Dota industry. For those of you that are just catching up or that are just tuning in or don't know where you guys have been, maybe your head's under the rock, but we have two additions to the LeetPro team, Chadawi and Whelp, that is now part of the LeetPro team. ACG is actually going to be gonna have to have a stand in this evening. Elifiel is the one that is picking up the banner there for ACG not being able to join the guys tonight. So still a rather strong squad coming out from LeetPro. They are playing with a sub for the side of Epoch. I think this is their registered main team, their primary team.
Yeah, I'm not sure you remember who is, but I think it is their registered team. But yeah, they're a very strong team. I mean, we actually cast Epoch the last time we cast, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you are correct. I think you are correct.
And we cast LeetPro.
Yeah.
Did we cast this game the last time we cast together?
Did we? But
I think we cast this game.
Okay, so well then this is. It's in the signs, but it's in the stars. Yeah. It is meant to be for us to be casting this game once again.
Oh,
so
boy.
I do know that you've had an opportunity to look at the latest update. It took place like 2 days ago, the latest update, and there was a couple of changes to IO. Maybe you want to open up your spreadsheet, tackle away, and tell us what the changes are on the IO.
Well, IO took a couple of nerfs, but I mean nothing that's gonna say you shouldn't play IO. IO was so strong in the previous patch. I think it was a #1 ban almost every game. I'm quite surprised that Epoch actually let that one through, and they went to pick it up. So it lost what 5 movement speed or 10 movement speed, and then some of his talents got a little bit nerfed. But other than that, IO is still just such a good hero, especially in the dual lane meta that we're currently in. Just provides so much more. The one nice thing is his level 20 talent got moved up to 25. The one where you attack whatever your tethered target is attacking. So that helps a bit when you deal with the IO in the late game. But again, IO is just very, very strong in the laning stages, strong in the mid game. And then late game still, I don't think he falls off that hard. But Epoch actually go for a very nice combination here. A lot of magical damage output, fatal bonds as well as the Sand King ultimate, extremely strong. So I do like their opening as well. But I still favor LeetPro right now. IO Ogre, pretty strong laners.
That IO just completely helps your core just dominate the lane. You can never bring him down, and as soon as you think you're about to kill him, surprise, surprise, there's an IO that's ready to completely just get his carry back in the fight. So he is rather hard to deal with in the earlier parts in the game. Maybe a little bit later, the cores can actually nuke him down rather early on in the fights, making sure that their core can't be saved from the side of LeetPro. But we'll see how it pans out. I'm more interested to find out, like, who do you couple it up now with? Like, the meta's changed so often. It used to be the Bristleback IO, then it used to be the CK IO, Tiny IO. What can we expect to now be the IO combination? I mean, I've even seen IO Wind Rangers occur, but I know Wind Rangers being banned out already from LeetPro. But I mean, what can we see? What can we expect here?
One of the things is Epoch just doesn't have enough bans in the world for this IO. There's so many options, and you don't necessarily need to have this, oh, we need a Legion, or we need a Gyrocopter, or whatever you would be looking for. I think almost any core just thrives with an IO on the back of it. And they could also just look at the mid laners. Was Death Prophet banned? Death Prophet's still in the pool here, something that they must be careful of. A very good hero to relocate in. for
What about a
multiple
Legion?
reasons, can find kills very quickly, and on top of that, get objectives. So that's a bit of a scary one. And I think Death Prophet's just been extremely strong. I would be lying if I said I wasn't sure if it took a nerf, but I do think it took a small nerf, but nothing that's going to tell me that Death Prophet's going to be too much of a problem. So his movement speed was slightly reduced, and the Siphon was also just slightly nerfed. It's not the end of the world. I think for the laning stage is a bit of a problem, but other than that, still a pretty hot pick.
Right, well, Epoch, they do manage to pick themselves up the Morphling. Now, I haven't had the opportunity to play the Morphling since the changes have been taking place on this hero. And rather interesting. I mean, this is what I always expected a Morphling to be. Like, when I very first started playing Dota, I mean, you had the replicate to actually replicate a hero. I mean, why didn't that ever pan out to be the abilities as well? And now they have done it. So it's... it makes it really interesting. I played a pub the other day where I had a Pudge. We had a Morph on our team, and we were going up against the Pudge. The Morph turned into a Pudge, and I was so confused because I tried to kill our own Morphling Pudge. Really confusing, really freaked me out. And then I realized, hang on, it's actually a Morphling. So some good trickery from the Morphling can take place. But yeah, for those of you that didn't know, Morphling's abilities, or whichever hero he does morph into, he actually gains the first 3 abilities of that hero. So rather interesting. I mean, you've got Tether, Fire Blast, maybe Nether Ward from Pugna now coming out, that the Morphling can actually do a little bit of harm to the side of LeetPro. So maybe it's in a way like a Rubik pick.
Yeah, it's also a we don't want to give this to RDK pick. You know,
It could be that too.
This is his hero, right? Morphling's his hero, and it's really good in the patch currently. So by all means, and he got a few things to steal now. I mean, Razor, he can steal some damage, but of course, if the Razor links him and he links the Razor, just nothing happens. So it's just a bit of a farce. Other than that, Pugna's going to provide him maybe with some pushing potential, but I don't think that's the main purpose of the Morphling here, to really steal abilities. I think it's a ban pick on top of that as just being a pretty solid core all around, and I think it synergizes fine. I don't see too much weakness. It seems like the other 3 heroes can really move around by themselves, while Morphling can maybe split push out a little bit and try and find that farm as fast as possible. But my biggest concern here for Epoch is the game going to last that long, where that Morphling comes into the fray and is a major concern, because you're going up against a Razor, Pugna, Ogre, Magi, and an Io. These heroes can really take buildings very quickly, control your map up, make it very difficult for Morphling to find that very needed farm. And his laning stages is going to be very difficult. He can't really morph too much agi. There's just a lot of potential for them to kill him. There's decent lockdown. So that's scary. It's a scary situation if you are the Morphling player, yeah.
Well, I mean, we talk about lockdown, and looking on the side of Epoch, I mean, we do have quite a bit of lockdown. We have Balistix from the Sand King. We have the Rock from the Warlock. We've got the Adaptive Strike from the Morphling. Okay, it's not the greatest lockdown, but it is a form of a mini-stun. And then Dragonite's got his Dragon Tail. So there's a lot of crowd control coming out from the side of Epoch. I do feel that maybe LeetPro is lacking a little bit, though. I mean, you mentioned good lockdown, but... Okay, so there you go. There's the lockdown that you spoke of, Skaapie.
Question answered.
Yeah. All right. So I think LeetPro and I have got a little bit of a better answer. They've got a little bit more lockdown to try and deal with the Morphling. If the Void jumps on the Morphling while he's maybe switching to edgy, that's going to be a devastating blow for Morphling, if that does happen, though.
Something we mustn't forget. IO talent, giving Ags to Tethered Ally. Really good on Razor. That means his ability is going to be taking down buildings. So similar to when I was talking about the Death Prophet. And then even the Faceless Void. If he gets that tether off on the Faceless Void and he uses Chrono, that Chrono's cooldown is going to be extremely long, as well as a Chrono lasting a longer duration. Pugna, fantastic with Pugna. Pugna can just drain life constantly while he's getting healed up and his mana's getting refreshed by the IO. Really, like cheeky combinations here once the IO does get those levels up, but again, Io fares pretty well just with the Razor because he's going to provide extra movement speed for the Razor to run down, tether, whatever opponent there may be. And also just keep him regen. Like you said, there's a lot of lockdown bits, and Io is just so good at sustaining someone in lane. Even if you do get all that lockdown, it's going to be difficult to kill that hero. I like this pick, though.
I think maybe this runs off Epoch's draft quite a bit. They've got some nice frontliners. They've got some good damage coming out, and some good sustain for the side of Epoch. Looking at the benefits of LeetPro, you pretty much got the IO, which is pretty much equals the entire side of Epoch. I mean, IO is absolutely ridiculous. So we're going to see how it pans out for the team. They've finished up their draft. Some really cool skins. And you were mentioning about the tethered ability onto allied players. They get that Ags ability. Pugna gets life drain onto the Morph. I mean, Morph going for a Lincoln's now, he can literally pop it in a second and still have life drain again afterwards. So that is maybe a certain way that the Morphling has to build. Maybe not into a Lincoln's, or do you still think Lincoln's is viable?
Yes. Lincoln's is quite interesting. There are decent amount of things to really pop the Lincolns. I think it's still okay, but he's more than likely just gonna get Yasha. Maybe try and get that shotgun up. I'm not too certain. I don't think he necessarily needs to go for the Lincolns, but I don't think it's bad either. I don't think I can blame him for taking that. Morphing this much Agi is a scary thing, though. He's going up against a lot of potential burst, and he's just not letting up. 344
he's a brave chap. All right, well, for those of you that are just joining us, I'm Jubba, joined by Skaapie here in tonight's game of LeetPro versus Epoch. We're going to get through to the introductions. Let's just see if there's going to be a tussle before we get interrupted. They're already trying to scout it out. We've got Chidawi and Whelp trying to put a bit of pressure here in the bot lane. Repo hiding under the cover of his tower. Snoops. They're pretty confident here under their tower. They're going to pretty much get themselves 2 bounties in the bot lane. Looking at the top, though, they're going to be able to trade out 2 bounties here as well.
Look how fast that Pugna is. It's disgusting. 383 movement speed this early on into the game. Jeez, look at the damage they do to Snoops. He just can't. This is a terrible lane for him, in fact. This is just horrifying. And top lane, I don't even think they can contest this bounty because he can just burrow strike and secure it. But a bit dangerous for him, potentially.
Well, top lane, he manages to seal out the bounty. Good job from Remember Who You Are. RDK jumps forward, trying to get a couple of right clicks off onto the SK. LFR throws out the Ignite. Not going to be enough to slow him down. They decide to pull back. And pretty much it did go 2 ruins apiece, am I correct?
Look at this. Look at bot lane.
This is cheeky, eh?
What? How did they not aggro the creep there?
And how is Snoop still staying on 48 Ag?
This is bad. This is very bad. We spoke about the lane being a bit of a problem for the Morphling. This is very bad for him. Something I didn't even consider. The high movement speed a Pugna has, as well as his high base damage, just destroys the Morphling in this laning stage.
All right, well, we're already 1 minute into the game. We haven't even done the introductions. So here we go. For the side of the Radiant, it is going to be Epoch playing the side of the Radiant. It's going to be Snoops on the Morphling, Repo on the Warlock. Mid lane, it's going to be the DK. Going to be played out there by Fearbender. Top lane, it's going to be Remember Who You Are on the SK. And last but not least, it's going to be Stunt on the Panda.
Right, you're leaving me with the easy ones, right?
Yeah, there we go.
People that don't want to wear the right names.
I'll tag in if I think I know better.
Yeah. RDK going to be playing over here on the Void as Mario. Elifiel, I think the only person with their real name, is playing over on the Ogre Magi in the top lane, going towards the mid. Shut up, lol, which is going to be Deppy, going to be playing over on that Razor. Chidawi is going to be playing over on the IO. And then, last but not least, AC... No, it's not ACG, sorry. Who?
Whelp. That is going to be Whelp.
Whelp. Yes, damn, I was so close. Yeah, Whelp going to be playing over here.
That was 4 out of 5. That was 4 out of 5.
Hey, it's a pass, you know.
That it is, and already a lot of pressure coming onto Snoops. He's a 3rd HP Repo, just going to be able to give him that regen. So we spoke about the battle of the regens, and we can see how it's panning out. Who do you think's got the most regen here? I'm feeling things are looking way better here for the side of LeetPro.
Yeah, it is, but we must keep in mind the Warlock's heal's really good on the Morphling because he's got such a low HP pool that when he does start to morph into strength after being healed up, he gets quite a lot out of it, so it's not too bad for him, but they're making his life misery in the spot lane. This is just not a fun lane for a Morphling. So I'm not sure what they're going to do there.
Well, the Nether Blast comes down, putting Snoops just can't handle it. They've actually rotated down the SK, and now we're going to maybe lose Whelp. No, he's going to be able to actually get himself a little bit of HP from Chidawi with the wand coming out to help out. And they look like they can turn it around. The Fatal Bonds is out. Could they get a first blood? Yeah, the Bow Strike is out. And Whelp is going to try and have to get himself out of there. He's actually got Decryptified up. He's going to use the wave to actually try and do the damage. Can Whelp get out of there? No. Good tether coming out from Chidawi, keeping alive. Wow. Is it going to be enough? It is. And Chidawi picking up the last hit there. And first blood going to the side of LeetPro, even bringing down the Ogre Magi, just coming in for the show. More of a spectator than actually getting involved. So this dual lane has actually now turned into a tri lane.
Yeah, but holy cow, how well did Whelp play that fight? Man, this guy's just out of his mind actually there. He really just kited around the sides, knowing how much damage he was going to take. Got a big burst of heal from the IO's wand. It was really good for him. And that was really, really well done. Overall, seems like really good communication coming at you from LeetPro, considering that they do have a stand-in. Okay, the stand-in did rotate. Maybe unnecessarily, but it was for in case. I think they saw that there was potential for things going a bit awry.
Rather let the Ogre run back top than lose a hero, when that one extra hero would have actually made a difference. So the bot lane looks like the exciting lane. Will stick there, but hang on, let's go pop at top. I do see Stunt losing a little bit of HP there. We did have a little bit of an engagement. We do have the Fire Blast and the Ignite on cooldown from LFI, so putting a little bit of pressure there on Stunt. He's going to be forced to play it alone here in the top lane, as Epoch has called for a tri lane here, but trying to deal with this Io Pugna combo. I mean, this is really difficult for him to deal with.
Did you see that damage, man? That's just obnoxious. This this Morphling can't afford to really stay on such low health. It's so risky. So damn risky. But level 2 heals up for the Warlock, so he will always be on full HP, but...
Well, here comes the Decryptify. The wave comes out. Gonna just be disarmed. Snoops. He gets away with taking that little bit of extra damage. And it's now getting to the point where they're trying to avoid every single Nether Blast that comes out from Whelp.
Yeah. So everyone got 2 runes there, so pretty well played all around. Runes very important currently, even though it did take a bit of a nerf. Not as strong as it once was, but still something that you got to keep a wary eye on. Still quite significant, especially for the supports. Helps them out a lot.
Well, I mean, now bounties actually go across the board, so even the support's picking up the bounties. Even your cores, helps your mid, helps everyone out. So contesting those bounty runes, and I think it's an attempt to make sure that every 5 minutes at least there's like some form of attempt to have a fight, and a drop goes down in the bot lane. I can't. He was on like half HP. All of a sudden, Whelp takes him down, trying to find another kill. Then remember who you are, comes in, gets the stun off onto Chidawi. He tethers back up to Whelp. He's going to try and get the kill onto Warlock. Not going to be good enough. Snoop TP's back in to try and defend out his teammates, and they're going to only just get the Morphling. But look at this. Even the balls from the IO. Like, I could make a really rude comment now, but I mean, that's what happens when...
You know you want to, Jubba. You really know
oh my gosh. That's what happens when the balls hit you in the face. Now the Decryptify comes down, dodges out from the Nether Blast, and takes no damage.
Like that chestnut joke, you know.
It's going to happen every time those balls start hitting your hero. You know what it's going to be. In the words of the CSGO players, that's what happens. He's just been teabagged.
Yeah. That's a fair statement. That I could have accepted that. That's family friendly.
Is that family friendly? Well, there you go. Teabagging will now be allowed on the cast, ladies and gents. It is Skaapie approved.
Family friendly. I'm not proud of that.
Right. Well, Morphling. I'm going to keep my eyes on this Morphling, because if he doesn't watch his edgy, he's going to die rather quickly. I mean, he's on 370 HP at the moment. I mean, that's what we're dealing with. Burrow Strike does come out onto Whelp. They're trying to bring him down, but Io is just too good. They're going to try and keep him alive. Chadawa, he needs to now get out of there. He's been the focus of attention. And in the meantime, Repo does pick up the kill onto Whelp. And eventually they take down this this duo here in the bot lane. Looking in the top lane, Elifiel is coming around the back, just putting a little bit of stunt here in the top. He's a pretty low HP, and Odike, he's all too happy just to sit in the top lane and farm his sweetheart away, building himself into the mom. So he's going to be ready and on the line to fight pretty soon.
The BM tips, though.
Yeah.
Taking a page out of the Virtus Pro book. But
what did I miss?
No, they just tipped when they Hugna died, they all tipped him. You know. The usual.
Oh, guys, we're such a loving family.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's just it's a repo thing for sure. That's just something you can expect from him every time.
Oh, bot lane though, they're trying to find the kill onto Chadao. He's not going to be good enough. Even bringing out a little bit of the Burrow Strike, the Sandstorm, but now Warlock under pressure gets stunned out. And there was there another blast follow up? I don't think I saw it if there was, but now teabagging out the SK. Well, trying to see if he can find a little bit more. Got 3 players here for the side of LeetPro, just trying to find themselves a nice, decent kill here on Epoch's lineup. And it feels like Epoch's on the back foot. They're continuously hiding under the tier 1 with the added armor benefits, and they still being brought down to half HP. 3 of their
look at the Morphling CS right now. It's 17 last hits. Compared to 53 of his opposition. He is in a horrendous position. He is really just surviving, that's what he's, or trying to survive. That seems to be the goal. He's not really gaining much from this. Their only real hope is the mid lane, and he didn't really win his lane. Fearbender just actually had a tough time there. So all around, like I said, the laning stages are going to be horrible, and true as Bob, they've turned out that way. Big jump forward from Stoops though.
The upheaval comes down, Bow Strikes there, the Decryptor fires there as well, trying to slow down the SK. Snoops, a huge amount of damage there, but he actually manages to wind himself out. Ellie has to get himself out of there. Whelp, and there's the Fatal Bond's doing its work, taking down Whelp. Can Chadawi make it out of there? Remember, Huai wants to find the strike. He does. Does he go down to the tower? One more hit, and it may actually turn into a kill. It does, but it gets shared amongst the side of the Radiant, or the side of the die, excuse me. So, I mean, at the end of the day, 2 kills from this huge duo. Now mid lane, Fearbender gets the stun off onto the Razor. There is a regen there, but Deppy just decides to actually TP himself out. Gets himself out there, but Chadawi, he gets involved. The ulti comes out from the Panda. Can Chadawi make it out of there? Doesn't have anything to tether to, and Fearbender throws down their breathing fire, takes down the IO. Now they're looking to find more. Deppy getting his team into a little bit of trouble there, just tipping himself out, and cost them 2 heroes or 2 kills for that TP out, even though he was in serious trouble himself.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's good for them, but at the same time, there's RDK, who's pretty close to finishing up a Mask of Madness. And I don't know what they're going to do about him. He's just going to be so big, while the Morphling is really just not in that position. And we must consider that this Void has been going up against a Brewmaster who's just constantly throwing Drunken Haze on him.
I was about to say that.
So,
but I mean, he's still like what, 70 in 10 minutes, 70 CS in 11 minutes. That's pretty much a free farming lane.
Yeah, no, he's doing great.
Or
But
SK.
the upheavals just really worked out for them actually. Now that sorry, not the upheaval, the Fatal Bonds. And that was only a level 1 Fatal Bonds that won them that fight. That was actually pretty good for them and brought a bit of space for Morphling, but again, still so far behind. Got treads and a wand. Lots of work for him to do there.
Well, yeah, we do not. Oh, look in the mid lane though. Warlock trying to get some action on, but let's stay in the bot lane. The Cryptified does come out, and Snoop's taking a little bit of damage there. Quite a bit of damage, actually. And he's going to be trying to retreat to the fact that there is no level 1 tower anymore. He's fully edged up. 200 HP, below 200 HP. Where's a finger from the line when you need one?
Yeah. He really needs to be a bit careful here. But again, a really cheeky play or good play coming out. I think it was Deppy who maybe did the scan for himself, realizing bot's missing. Scanned, saw that there were two heroes, definitely smoked up, looking to gank in mid. And that just meant that the Morphling's constantly under a bit more pressure. And he went to farm the jungle safely, and these supports have wasted quite a lot of their time. So very good awareness from him. And I mean, you can't expect less. And look at bot lane, they're just going to push.
Well, they're going to get a tier 2 for a tier 1 in the mid lane. Deppy trying to hold out what he can, but the TPs come in thick and fast. SK hiding in the sidelines, but the fight breaking out by the shrine. Ellie has to get himself out of there. Chidawi and 1 more. There comes out the decryptifier. The rock is dropped. The morph goes in. He wants some action. Takes down Whelp. There's the epicenter. Does its work. Drops down. Repo drops as well now. And now Ellie, it's up to him to make it out of there. Here's one tanky little bugger. But the ball comes in. Catches out 3. We lose. We lose the Snoops. We are going to lose. No.
Wow.
Okay, wow. Okay, oh, wow. Okay, the Primal Split actually did enough work to not actually get brought down. So, RDK may have a Mask of Madness, but he's not invincible just yet.
Yeah, that was a bit of a... I thought he was just going to get the 1 kill and get out of there, but it seems like he just maybe overstayed a little bit. He got the 1 kill and then died, so I don't think that's worth it. In fact, I think he gave them quite a decent amount of gold, and Epoch really doing well in these team fights in this stage of the game, so maybe they need to be a bit more wary of the side of LeetPro, because Epoch is looking decent. Whoa, look at that damage onto Snoops.
Oh, wow.
Goodness. But he's still alive, and he's gonna find what he needs. I think he got a decent amount. He got a Ring of Aquila now, so just from that fight, I don't know. Did he get a kill there? He must.
I think let's take a look. We do have 2 kills up onto 2 Snoops, so pretty much 2 kills apiece across Epoch and LeetPro. A little bit shy in terms of kills at the moment. So I mean, we've been hopping on LeetPro's lineup in the way that they're doing well, but I mean, Epoch, they 4 kills ahead.
Yeah, no, they've done well. They're actually keeping the net worth balance at bay with those 2 pretty good team fights, so really good by them. I mean, the laning stages were difficult, like I thought, and they had a bad time, but they've converted the mid-game, or this early mid-game, very well for themselves, so maybe something for their opponents to really look at, especially going a little bit later into this game.
Oh, well, here comes out the fights for the bounty. Stunt's going to get the bounty run top, and Bot, it's going to be going 1 to the IO and 1 to the Void. So they split up the bounties. And I think things might actually slow down a little bit for the moment. I think the LeetPro realizes, listen, hang on, we're taking fights, we're losing fights that are unnecessary, and just slowing things down. I mean, they've got so much control coming out from Epoch. I mean, the Rock just devastated Chidawi and Whelp in their previous team fight.
Yeah, I think Repo's actually played very well at keeping them in this game. He's dropped very good fatal bonds. He had level 1 fatal bonds, which I think only links on 3 units, and he got all 3 heroes linked. It was really good for them in that earlier fight.
Oh, wow. Okay, SK misses out the bow strike. The Sandstorm comes down, but the wave comes in from the Morphling, takes down the Chidawi rather quickly. Whelp goes down as well. Epicenter being used out. Upheaval makes no escape available for the side of LeetPro, and 2 down in the mid lane. Jumping to the mid, though, Fearbender, he's got his dragon form up. RDK jumps a little bit back, wants to get a little bit frisky, but Fearbender just doing enough to defend the tower. Very low HP. RDK may look at trying to get a pick here. Not going to happen.
Oh, if this gets denied, it's so bad for them. They get 0 gold now. Really bad.
So, top lane, though, they want to try and get a little bit of vengeance. RDK. Yeah, so I think he was actually trying to bait out the split. I mean, that's what it looked like. I mean, he could have dropped the bubble a little bit earlier to prevent that, but I don't think he had enough burst to actually prevent it. So instead of wasting the bubble on it, rather just let him get the primal off. And now if they want to take a team fight, they're looking a lot better. I mean, the only thing they have to contend with is pretty much the Rock from the side of Epoch.
Yeah. Epicenter's down, but there's a level 4 Burrow Strike with a Blink Dagger now, so the Sand King's done fantastic.
Oh, bot lane, no. Snoops almost gets exploded from Whelp. He's Whelp may put on the chase here, and he actually just backs off. And full conversion back to HE, jumping to the top lane though. The rock comes down, they lose down RDK, not being able to even throw down the bubble. Now Ellie's going to try and get himself out of there. Not going to happen. And 2 down for LeetPro, just getting caught a little bit unawares. Back to bot lane, the TP comes in from SK. Don't think it's enough just here, just him being alone here to bring down Chadawi and Whelp. He does have the Netherwall planted down. There comes the stun, but Snoopsy rocks up, full edgy morph, gets the wave off, doesn't do any damage to off, and Whelp, and they may just look at retreating here a little bit. Yeah,
I mean, in top lane, they're going to take a tier 2 tower here. There's no rebuttal.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Well, Whelp comes in.
They actually fortify for tier 2, so a bit of a concern, but there is a tier 1 bot, so if that does fall, that's not too bad for them.
There's,
Oh,
whoa. I actually heard a leap from the void.
Yeah, he jumped onto
Alrighty, well, let's stay focused here.
But that pause was horrible.
That pause
was terrible.
So now they're going to be like consolidating. Right, Epoch boys, what do we want to do? Do we want to fight this or do we want to back off? I think the good thing is if RDK actually just backs off. His team's nowhere
in
near.
Animation. Click on him. Look, his chrono's already...
Oh, wow.
In animation on this. So is he going to be able to cancel this?
Okay, all right. This is going to be really horrible here because now Epoch has the opportunity to maybe rebuttal. There is only 2. No, I lied. There's actually 3 Warlocks up here at the top, but he's TPing out. So does Warlock cancel his TP and stay behind and try and fight this?
Yeah,
because
no,
what's... Well, let's see what happens.
I'm sure he's spamming yes. He must be spamming yes. Oh, he didn't. Committed.
Okay.
This is terrible. This is terrible.
Oh, well, here comes out the fight. They're going to try and take down Stunt. Now, RDK gets stunned up. Chadawi, he comes in as well. Tethers up to Whelp, and they do manage to bring down the Panda. I think they just cut their losses and said, okay, well, we're going to lose the Panda. There's so many players from LeetPro. Let's just save ourselves where we can. And Fearbender didn't even contest. He also just pretty much vacated the area as well.
I really thought they weren't going to have enough damage there, but I think I just underestimated how much damage Void can do, and obviously that the Pugna was there also does a significant amount of damage, and they're going to find a tier 1. So this is okay for them. They finally found something back for their losses. And Fearbender is doing great. I mean, look at his net worth. Shadowblade up, drums up. He's pretty strong. Big jump forward though from the Sand King. Oh, what a burrow.
The blink is available. Epi goes off, trying to chase him down. Ellie goes down as well with the help of Fearbender. But now Whelp, he's going to suck a little bit of life there. Stunt jumps in. Primal Roar being a Primal Split being used out. We're going to use up the Razor. The one comes down. The ward comes down. And remember who you are. Taking a little bit of damage there. Is there enough to bring him down? It is. And Deppy getting the kill there on the SK. Now trying to get away from Fearbender before he throws out the Dragon Breath. And it is going to be just out of reach. And Deppy walks away with the skin of his teeth. That was absolutely super close. Top lane though, Repo, or bot lane I mean, Repo managing to actually TP out and throwing out the Bok to Aya.
Yeah, you can be lucky that there wasn't a troll creep there to net him up because Chadawi does have the Helmet Dominator. So if he could net and cancel that TP, that would have been a certain death. But fortunately for him, all that he got was a Wild Wing Ripper.
Well, I mean, this is rather interesting because I've seen it once or twice where an Eye will actually pick up the helm and tether himself to a creep. Look how much faster it makes him.
It's so good because the creep that your Helmet Dominators is so fast as well as providing you with extra movement speed. It's spectacular. It's actually a must. I don't think there's very seldom that you don't pick it up. And a Chronosphere going to be used onto Sand King, and that should be his demise.
Oh, well, now Snoops actually morphs himself into a Void. Actually gets the Shadow Blade off once again. Fearbender going to get ignited out. Snoops trying to bring down that Wild Wing there from Chadawi. The Nether Ward doing its work. And a couple of DCs coming out from the side of LeetPro. Chalk it up to server issues, I would imagine. Because I know a couple of these players aren't even in. They're all over the country. So, I mean, LeetPro struggling a little bit there. A couple of DCs. The only one to stick around is going to be Whelp. I suppose gargantuan fiber, I would imagine.
I mean, surely they're landing. There can't be any other explanation. Because they all DC'd at the same instant. But then again, like, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if they, I don't know if they. I don't think that. I don't know. Like, I mean, it would be a big presumption to say that they're all landing. I don't. I wouldn't think so. I mean, but anyway, what does Jubba know? Jubba knows nothing. I'm just here to make the naughty jokes.
This is super insane that they're all DC'd at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, the odds of that happening.
How bad would it have been if RDK...
after witnessing this, if they're not landing.
Imagine RDK popped the bubble, all of a sudden the DC comes out, and then everything just goes horribly awry for the side of LeetPro. They managed to pick up the kill onto the SK, so it looked a little bit better for them there than before. And LeetPro still got a big deficit. They're still 7 kills behind. But, Mr. Skaapie, look at the net worth.
Yeah.
It completely tells a different story. Now, Fearbender absorbing all those tea bags. The stun comes out onto Chadawi. Elite tries to throw out the stun. We get the jump forward there from the Panda. Upheaval doing so much work. And we do lose 2 here from the side of LeetPro. And Warlock in the background just says, "You going nowhere. Welcome to my swamp, boys," and can't even run away from it.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait for you to see what happens when the IO tethers this creep in particular, the Cobalt, because this little creep's got 476 movement speed already. It's so disgusting how fast they can be. But Epoch doing so well in these team fights. Looks like they found themselves in a pretty dominant position. And look at the net worth now shifted into their favor overall. So it's really good for them. Fearbender also doing pretty well. Earlier he also killed the helmet dominated creep, which is now giving 200 gold.
Well, bot lane though, Stunt in a little bit of trouble. They dropped the rock, but it's not going to be good enough for them to stun out Whelp. And Fatal Bond's trying to do its work. They get 100 gold in Deppy's pocket for taking down the rock as well. So they get 2 kills on the back of that, and I think maybe just chalking it up to sticking around for a little bit too long, knowing that everyone's back on the board. Oh, they do have a water pick. Can Mr. Oga get it? He does get it. Just with 1 sentry, boys. That's all you need. So for all the pub watchers out there, please buy Jubba sentries.
Okay, so I got confirmation.
Yes.
That they're not landing. There's just some hectic weather in Pretoria, and it might have affected them all. Or maybe they're using the same internet and it just got affected.
But Lotto. Let's take out the Lotto, Scott.
I think
I'm
so,
going to follow
man.
your numbers.
It must be.
Tomorrow's Wednesday. Tomorrow is what?
Chadawi in Cape Town?
Well, I don't know, but I mean, well, that's why he never did. That's why he never. I don't know. Walt never DC'd. So yeah, this is completely surprised to me. But RDK, it looks like he's on the hunt here. He's not gonna. Does he choose stunt as his target? No, he doesn't. All right, guys, we're gonna be very, very quiet here because RDK looks like he's going on a little bit of a hunt.
Ooh,
do they have a smoke here? Don't have a smoke, but let's jump to the bot lane. Deppy gets the link off onto the SK. Okay, no, I think that's pretty much it. So, Scott, you got me excited for nothing there.
I got excited. Look how fast they are. The IO and the Cobalt. Look how quick they are. It's so impossible to actually catch them. They're just so ridiculously fast.
Wow, that is... not even the tether on my screen can actually keep up with it.
542 movement speed on the Cobalt. Look at that little thing go.
Is your tether like...
It can't keep up, yeah. It's like jumping. It just... Oh boy!
I thought maybe my graphics is playing games with me, but
no,
this is crazy. This is ridiculous.
Blistering fast little Cobalt there.
I want to see Barrett try and chase down that IO in that mode. That's like Transformer mode, right? Well, okay. Let's jump into a little bit of a serious part of the game. It's getting to around about the 25-minute mark. Bounties are almost up. What kind of items can we expect to see? I mean, RDK does have his Shadow Blade. He's trying to get stuff done around the map. Even though maybe a little bit solo here. Okay, well, we do get the jump from Stunt coming in. But that's going to be a little bit of a problem for him. The Cryptify comes out and the bubble being used out. Nice bubble, making sure that it's perfectly zoned out. And no primal split for you this time, Stunt. And
yeah, he was in animation for the primal split, and I think that's what RDK saw and just threw out the bubble, secure that kill, make sure that they don't waste another big rotation of theirs.
lane, though. Oh, sorry to interrupt you, but IO. He's coming back straight into the upheaval. Snoops is there. And Walp. Oh, wow. Walp didn't want to come back. And pretty much left Chadawi to his devices and dropped like the rock.
Okay, so it turns out Chadawi is in Pretoria. So, yeah, that's the reason why. So,
there you have it. That's the call. Right, now before we got interrupted by that, we were talking about items, item progressions while they're rushing rather quickly. Anything specific that you want to look for? I mean, I did notice that Walp's actually picked him up himself for Dagon. It's level 1. Hurricane Park out onto the Morphling as well. Hold that thought though, because I do see the SK. He looks like he may get friskier. The jump comes in, doesn't actually epi for it. Stunt jumps in, drops off the clap, but there's the rock catching out almost the entire team. The Fatal Blonde's being brought down. Walp gets brought down rather quickly. Ellie trying to stun out the rock, not going to be good enough. And the link from Deppy just doing what it can. And that is going to be a rush going in favor of Epoch. Thanks to the boys for LeetPro for getting it so low. And really easy rush. And the 2 kills behind that.
That was really good engagement by them. Good timing from the side of Epoch. And again, just seems like the communication's on point. And Repo playing fantastic. He's really playing out of his mind here on this Warlock. Making sure that no one can get their abilities off. He's throwing down the upheaval where he must. The Fatal Bonds is so effective. Really playing well. So it's provided quite a lot for his team, and they're going to find objectives here. And this is looking quite scary if you are a LeetPro fan, because they are under threat of losing a building. The Golem is going to time out, fortunately for their sake. It does get 1 punch off at least, and whoa! That's why there's a Dagon. Big Chrono catches out 3 though.
Epicenter comes out. We're going to bring down Fearbend as well. A 7-kill spree. The Aegis is being brought back to life. Walp gets used up in the back lines. RDK trying to find the Morphling. Not going to happen. Gets a depth strike back. And Repo's going to go down. Warlock can't survive through that. So they lost 3 off the back of that. And Stunt, the last man to be surviving in this area. They're probably going to be able to bring him down. And that pretty much makes it a 4-for-0 raid just after rush, and all of a sudden LeetPro with a 2k lead advantage. And now the call is to push down mid, get a tier 2. They do have 2 buybacks available. The question is, do they expend it at the moment?
Yeah, and that's the difference of having that BKB on that void. That BKB was such a necessity for them, and once he did manage to pick that up, he's able to just stand around in the fights. That's what was the problem previously. He would throw down a Chrono, have to kill someone, then have to get out. Now he has this BKB, which means he can really just join the fray and stay there after the Chronosphere and do some damage. So really, really important for them. And I think maybe Epoch a bit overzealous. I would have made the same call as them, but maybe just a bit overzealous going straight onto that high ground, not scoping it out maybe.
I think you know what really catches them off guard is the amount of damage that Walp's actually doing. So Walp gets his hands onto any one of those heroes, and all of a sudden RDK sees blood, jumps in, and then the rest of LeetPro just jumps in behind him, and just honestly caught Snoops off guard. I mean, he decryptified, thrown out the Dagon, got the blast off, even started life draining, and the Morphling waveformed out, and now he's using it defensively. So as soon as he uses it defensively, LeetPro goes on the offensive and just completely puts them on the back foot.
Yeah,
do you agree with my analysis?
Snoops there as well.
Do you agree with my analysis?
Excuse me.
I think that was a pretty good analysis from Jubba.
Yeah. No, spot on. Spot on.
Sometimes I even press myself.
Sometimes.
Oh, Snoops is in trouble. He is. Oh my god. If you actually just saw his HP, it was 1000 HP, 175 AG adaptive strike, and only 15 strength. SK just tried to, in vain, get a bonus strike out to cancel the TP. Actually didn't find RDK, so he managed to get out of there.
RDK did BKB to TP out to make sure he got out safe, but worth. Bringing down that Morphling is just so important. I mean, look, the Morphling's trying to get that shotgun up, and he's just so far away from it. He needs to find farm, and if they can just keep on stopping him, the hero is going to turn out to be pretty useless as the game progresses. Damage output's just not that effective. So, bit of an issue there for them.
Well, there we go. Tether Grand Scepter bonus. He has actually gone for that upgrade.
Oh, boy.
So, let's keep an eye on that, Mr. Skaapie, because that's going to really make a difference to see who decides to actually tether up, to actually give that Scepter bonus to.
Yeah, I mean, this hero's got fantastic tree talents. I mean, 60 damage, Tether Grad's Ags bonus, that's ridiculous. 20 health or 150 GPM, they're both pretty decent. And then that 25 attack tethered allies target, that's...
What does that even mean?
So if he tethers onto the Razor and the Razor's attacking, let's say, the DK, the IO will attack the DK even if he's not attacking from wherever he is.
It's like auto attacking him. You're running away, but it will just like automatically... Oh, Barrel Strike comes in. They're going to find Whelp. The tether comes in, but the relocate is going to be good. But what's even more worrying is the relocate back. Is he going to try a TP trick here? No, I think he's just going to... he may.
Oh? What?
What?
It was a good...
Oh no, he's going to get out. He tethered himself to a mud golem. Okay, the
yours
yours is there. Okay, I don't think he's going to make it out of this. Oh, but he's getting the creep away.
Man, he's got pipe. He's tanky.
The tether's going to be good, but the... Oh, trying to get... Oh, the last right click from Veerbender. Wow. To Dowie. Like... That would have been absolutely ridiculous if he managed to make that work.
I wouldn't have been all that surprised. Io is so strong. He's got pipe as well, so he was actually quite tanky there. But
wow.
Jeez,
that was some really good play. That was actually really good. I thought he was dead. I thought he was going to go for like a TP play, trying to time that TP just to get himself out of there. Like, you know, you get that timing.
I don't think it's possible anymore. I think they patched that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. Or I failed to do it 100 times. One of the two.
Maybe that, because I've also tried and I haven't been able to do it. I mean, this is like next level plays.
But I haven't seen pros even attempt it anymore, so I assume I might have missed that patch note, but I do think they patched it, so that's something we should consider. But pause again.
Been a game of pause. We are 32 minutes into the game. What is a Dota game without our legendary pauses? I see a lot of memes going around the internet. I really think we need a pause meme for SA Dota. Skaapie, yeah. I'm tasking you with that.
Oh jeez, dude. I'm old now. I don't do memes anymore.
I know, neither do I. That's why I thought maybe you can come up with something creative.
No, you forget. You're not the only old person in the scene anymore, Jubba.
But like, you know, it's so funny is it's like you sync me with you. I mean, can't you just sync you?
Hey, man, the captain must go down with your ship, and you're in charge of this ship. So,
wow, that's brutal. That's brutal. Well, we do see a little bit of a hunting party here. RDK Mario 69. Hasn't yet found his princess, still rolling around with the 69. He has got himself his Shadowblade, BKB, Mom, building into
MKB.
That the MK. Probably dealing with. Does it stop the Drunken Haze?
Yes.
Right,
well, percentage. Remember, MKB no longer is 100%. So it just reduces the chance of it occurring. But, BKB.
Bubble comes down. RDK right clicks down the SK. It's going to be good enough. They're going to get out of there. The Primal Split has been used out, so RDK doesn't want to take a fight just yet. Shadowblade is going to come out. And the stun comes out from Eddie, just holding Veerbender at bay. And Shatawi getting the tether off onto RDK. Finds the rock again. I might get the rock down. Oh, the bash is eventually he does. But good read there from RDK. But still gets stunned out from Veerbender in the back lines. And Epoch now sitting with 2 deaths, taking down RDK only. Depi trying to get himself out of there. The rock just fighting a mud golem. and Deppy gets himself a double kill. Three down here for the side of Epoch. Looking in the top lane, though, Whelp, the sneaky shenanigans, putting a bit of pressure onto the top lane of Rax, and the charge is on. Can DK get there quick enough to actually stop the shenanigans? The Shadowblade is up. Clears out the creeps, and good read coming in here from Whelp. He gets himself out of there. Did he even have vision of what was happening?
Yeah.
I think it was just a good read.
Shrines are now available to be taken down, and this is just horrible. This is horrible now for the side of Epoch. They actually lost that fight. They dropped Rock, and they only managed to find a Void. They lost 3, and they lost the tier 3 tower. That was... Now look at the net worth. 13k net worth lead going towards the side of LeetPro. So, oh man,
13k in the deficit, and the kills are still less than the side of Epoch. Let's take a look at the graphs, because I mean this is going to be a really interesting tell. Okay, net worth is what we expected to see. The 13k in advantage for the side of LeetPro. Looking at the experience, that tells an entirely different story. 15,000 experience advantage for the side of LeetPro. I mean, Deppy level 24. Level 24 on Deppy. Yeah, but only
Deppy,
level 21.
Deppy's also, he's in a good place, and I think we've sort of been neglecting how much damage
I think we have.
Because, pardon?
I think we have been neglecting him.
Yeah.
And just what he actually is getting done and what he's achieving.
So he's, even in that previous fight, he just dropped down so much damage. There was not much they could do against him, because that's the reason they started targeting the Void. The Void managed to jump off quite a lot of the burst damage. He did, however, finally fall, but they had to force out all their stuns, and at the same time Deppy was just standing on the sidelines throwing out some right clicks, and he's doing such a great combination of both physical and magical damage now with that Maelstrom online. He's a major concern, and I think BKBs are necessities all around the board, and you can see the Morphlings going for it now, but is it too little too late? It's really the question.
Oh,
As
well.
he did go for that Ethereal Blade, and yeah, he's got the E-Blade, and he's got some kill potential, but
Oh,
I don't know.
that is going to be so nice. Sorry to interrupt his Skaapie in the bot lane. SK used his Epic to try and take down Chadawi. Chadawi just tethered out, but now Whelp, he's going to be brought down for his efforts to try and save out Chadawi. Chadawi's just going to haul ass, get himself out of there on the Netty Chetty. Sorry, I don't know if I've told you that I've renamed this Dark Troll Summoner to the Netty Chetty.
Netty Chetty.
Yeah, because this Chetty throws out a net.
Yeah.
So Netty Chetty. And just
How did you
Chetty
get
rhymes.
Chetty, though, out of curiosity.
In the words of the Dr. D, steroids from Guatemala. Guatemala. Do you ever watch the doc?
Not all that often, to be fair.
Alright, well, then you'd have no idea what I'm
watched
saying.
him on occasions, but
He's big into his Guatemala Harlan steroids.
oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just trailing, but it's okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, Whelp goes down in the bot lane, gets taken down from Epoch. Good rotations coming in. It feels like the game has slowed down a little bit from before. Obviously waiting for the big cooldowns. We're waiting for Epi online. Everything's up for LeetPro, so there's nothing really stopping them. RDK jumps into the pit, throws out a couple of illusions. Do they know that RDK is in the pit? We'll find out shortly. Whelp showing himself in the bot lane. So maybe not enough intel yet on what's actually happening. SK seems to kind of know what's happening most of the time. He's actually making his way to the top lane. So Epoch, oblivious to this fact.
Yeah, now this is happening. They must have seen that, surely. No, they didn't. They have no way of seeing that, so... Cheese! Put the cheese on the IO. Cheese on the IO, there we go.
There it is.
Oh man, cheese on IO. That is the most disgusting thing. Prepare to see the most insane amount of heal you'll ever see.
Alrighty, well I'm not even leaving him. My hands are off the controls.
Yeah. Just double click on the IO and enjoy.
That's it. That's it. I'm not even, ladies and gents, for everyone that is watching, we are not leaving the IO because Skaapie has
we
made
actually want to
promises.
see the person that's dying who gets cheesed.
I think if
You know what I mean?
I think if we keep our eyes on the IO, I think it will be good enough.
You know, life's hard when you have to use your shotgun and your adaptive strike to farm the wave. You know, you just know that life's hard.
It hasn't been an easy run for Snoops. He's level 20. He's only got himself. He has eventually got himself the shotgun and the Hurricane Pike, trying to get himself to that BKB. Obviously not wanting to deal with Whelp and his shenanigans, also being stunned out from the Ogre Magi, just not going to be good enough. So he's building himself into that BKB. We spoke about the Lincolns in the beginning part of the game, and we felt that it wasn't a worthy item this time around, and I think he felt the same, hence the BKB.
I think BKB is far better.
100%.
He just
better than
needs
Lincoln,
BKB.
sorry. I think I said BKB again. I meant the Lincoln instead of the Lincoln.
Yeah. I mean, Ogre is just locking him down, and just the basic things. Even these summoned creeper are an issue eventually. But I mean, again, you buy BKB and you're going into a Chronosphere and you're going into the life drain, so it's also not that good. But it is. He needs it. He needs the BKB to fight. So.
Oh, wow, that was a very predictive blink coming out from Stunt. Almost smelling the fact that RDK was in the vicinity.
Stunt's quite big, and he's also got now a Talisman of Evasion. He's going to try and build into that Heaven's Halberd, which is fantastic, especially if he can get it onto that Void while the Void's inside the Chronosphere. But we can see what the Void queued up immediately when he saw that Talisman of Evasion. Like, you need to now pop my Lincoln Sphere somehow before you can throw that on me, and I'm going to get 3 right clicks out before that happens.
While Jubba wasn't concentrating in the top lane, and Whelp goes down to the likes of Snoops. So that's a kill that he's rather needed. I mean, what is the kill count for Snoops at the moment? Okay, he's 6 and 5 at the moment versus Deppy 7 and 0. So Deppy actually having a phenomenally good game. Hasn't died once yet. So that's going to be a pretty big bounty if they manage to actually pick up the kill onto Deppy.
Yeah, you know, Deppy's just doing, like, his thing. He just bombs, he's huge, he comes into the team fights, everyone's focusing, the space is void, and Deppy's just doing all of the damage. Meanwhile, they actually got void.
Oh, that time lapse. Oh, that time lapse.
And meanwhile, Io decides, you know what, there's a tier 3 tower.
He does have double damage, though. He does have double damage, but now bot lane, there it comes. Chadawi trying to survive through it. Oh, the relocate! The relocate comes in. I can't even believe it.
It finished.
Oh, wow. In the meantime, now RDK gets bloodlusted up. And Fearbender jumps in, gets the stun off. But Aegis is down on the deck. Ellie trying to get out of there. Upheaval slowing him down. Now RDK, BKB is up. Wants the one set of racks. There's the bubble. And he was looking at maybe trying to take the other lane of racks. Decided against it. Sun comes in. Stunning out RDK. He's actually invised up. But they've got some form of detection. And RDK doesn't actually get over the cliff. And that was an error.
That's not too bad. But meanwhile, bot lane, Razor and Io are back.
Oh, wow.
And they take a racks.
How fast is Razor shooting? It looks like laser beams. Sand King, bow strikes in, throws down the Sandstorm. Leather Blast coming out. The Centaur trying to get the stun off, not there in time, as SK has already gotten out of there. Blink forward from Fearbender, can't find any further kills, and they get themselves out of there. So pretty much one racks per lane. Not per lane, well, top and bot lane. So one complete set of racks basically destroyed. When I say complete, it's the range in the bot lane still stands, and in the top lane, the melee still stands. So it is one complete racks that is down. Not lane, just...
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm sure that people get it.
I know, apologies.
They're gonna flame you, but don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Like I become so pedantic with that is because work at the moment is trying to teach Jubba how to be a perfectionist, and I'm like telling them, like, guys, I already am. Like,
Don't
I
you
really
know?
am. In the meantime, can't believe what I'm seeing. That just happened, in the words of our international casters. Snoops takes down Walp in the top lane. I think Walp was trying to split push, and he just gets caught a little bit off guard there.
Whoa. This is a big kill if they get it. Deppy, but he's got BKB, so they're not gonna just... They just don't do anything to him. And Golem's on cooldown. Even if they drop Golem there, I don't think they get the kill.
Well,
so,
this is a big play now. Smoke is up. We do have the invis up. Does RDK decide to cancel out the TP? How can you resist? RDK, how do you resist that? Looking in the bot lane though, Deppy finds the SK. Jadawi in the vicinity, and wow, okay. SK died rather quickly there. RDK trying to see if he can find the Warlock in the mid lane. The gem is ready on Jadawi. So now SK's shenanigans are done. No more sandstorming out of all those that nonsense that he's performing.
Razor's just picked up a butterfly, traded out his Sanjin Yasha for that butterfly, and oh boy.
I suppose
He
the next
he was
move...
attacking fast, wait until you see him with Bloodlust and an IO tethered to him.
Well, I'm focusing on him. Okay, well, RDK does pick up the kill onto Stunt in the top lane. We're sticking with the bot because they're going to try and take this last lane of Rexia in the bottom. The shotgun comes out. The water's down. Trying to deal here. Snoops, BKB's up. The rock is down. Deppy, BKB's out. Trying to get himself out of there. He gets brought back in there. Now he's trying to stay alive, but poor old Chidawi's going to get brought down in the backlines. And Deppy stays alive. They bring down Snoops. Ellie throwing down a huge multicast. And now Deppy survives through it in the top lane, though. RDK, he's just, I think he's pretty much happy free farming. Walp, though, may look at making a play here on just Stunt. Hiding on the high ground here, and it's, oh wow, that rock is getting decimated. Well, let's take a look at the top lane, though. They're trying to take down RDK. RDK, BKB's up. He's going to try and run away. Throws down the time dilation. Getting right-clicked out here by Stunt. 3 men onto RDK. They want him. They want him bad. And Sand King decides to get involved. He's been dusted out. Waiting for it. Oh, the time lapse is good. They can't catch him. The right-click comes up, but the TP from SK pretty much leaving Stunt alone as they decide that the Ogre Magi is... Oh, wow, the Jukes from the Ogre Magi. Oh, wow. Can he make it out? He can't. Oh, how unfortunate. Let's jump back onto the RDK drama live from you from Channel 6 of News.
He's fine. No problem. He's almost got Link. He's got Lincolns if he wants to. So, he's fine.
I wonder what was the thinking behind the SK just TPing out and leaving the Panda alone. Maybe he felt like, he wasn't going to die.
This. We're never going to kill him. It's just accept this failure.
Accept this failure. I mean, okay, I suppose.
The Brew committed. He ultied, right? So
yeah.
I agree with you. I don't understand that.
I don't think the SK should have actually left. To maybe bring down RDK. I mean, he was the biggest disable that they had for RDK to try and at least put damage onto him, stun him to actually reduce that 5-second time lapse or damage removal.
Look at the movement speed of this Razor and IO when they are tethered up. Especially when he uses his butterfly. Jeez, they're so quick.
Oh wow. How do you even catch them now?
I don't know, especially with BKB up on the Razor on Deppy. He's close to unstoppable. 6 seconds though, so that's maybe one of the benefits for them, so they can lock down. Of course, Warlock ult does go through BKB, so if they can lock him down for a few seconds while the BKB is on, they can definitely catch him with the follow-up from the DK and the SK. So he does need to be a bit careful. That BKB being on such a low cooldown is a bit of a concern for him, but right now they're just playing it well. They're just saying, okay, you guys are not allowed outside of your base, and make any mistake and we will win the video game. So as easy as that.
And Deppy.
And look at this, wow. Don't forget the IO giving Ags over to Razor. Whoa!
That is a huge amount of damage. Deppy goes in, right clicks down to tier 3. Fearbender trying to right-click down Deppy. Static Link is too good. Not even popping out the BKB is going to help him there. Trying to bring down those creeps. Ellie in the background, throwing down the Bloodlust. In the top lane, though, RDK throws down the bubble. AP being used. Everything on RDK. Can he make it out? And he hasn't been killed just yet. He now gets brought down from Snoops. But they've eradicated the mid lane of Rax. They've taken down the bot lane of Rax. And one more lane of Rax standing until the side of LeetPro have got megas. And just look at that net worth. Look at that net worth. Look at the kills. And fight continues. They don't want to give up just yet. Whelp in the back line, sucking out the life here from Stunt. Can he make it out? He's got debuff, but no. He gets brought down from Deppy. Throwing out right clicks like an absolute Greek god. Getting himself a triple kill. And the boys from Epoch tap out. And that is going to be it. GG, well played, will be called. And game one goes to the boys from LeetPro. Taking it to the 50-minute mark. Really putting in our time. And really making us work this evening. But we're going to jump into game two shortly. Until Skaapie gives us a quick breakdown of this game.
Yeah. So I mean, I think we will give the breakdown in the second game because I think
that's a good idea. That's a good idea, guys. If you want to find out where Epoch went wrong, join us. Skaapie is going to sit us down at the desk, take us to the TV, and I promise you, he will not walk out on us. Until then, from Jubba and Skaapie, we'll see you in game two.
Yeah. So like we predicted, we were talking about LeetPro dominating the laning stages, which they did. They did very well in that regard. But Epoch came back, um, and Epoch came back. Yeah, Epoch came back in the mid game, and they started winning a bunch of team fights. And once they started winning those team fights, it looked pretty good for them. In fact, they won, I think, about 4 or 5 in a row consecutively, and I think heavily to um, it was due to Repo really playing well on that Warlock. He really turned around a lot of those fights for them. But as soon as the item progression really came up for LeetPro and they had their defensive items, they just pulled it back together, and then they just started consuming the map and making it impossible for Epoch to find farm and catch back up. So I think, in a nutshell, that game wasn't a easy one by any means for LeetPro, and maybe a few mistakes on their behalf that they can look back on. Yeah, and I think, sorry, before we end, the one thing that we all did wrong, myself, you, and the side of Epoch, was not think about Deppy, because Deppy was just a monster at the end, and was like, oh yeah, there's a razor. And a force off. Yeah, he was doing well, but this drop's underway, and a couple of interesting things here. Epoch go for Axe next, so pretty strong laners. They got really good regen. They fare quite well in that situation. And this time around, LeetPro actually go for a magic combination of them for themselves, and they go Warlock Leshrac. Also extremely scary if Leshrac gets the ulti down on multiple heroes affected by fatal bonds. It's a disaster. So they need to be a bit wary of that. So I like the opening from both sides here. Definitely two different playstyles coming at you, so we'll see which one comes out on top.
Just on a personal note, Jubba is a big fan of the Knicks. If you actually look, I have been a Knicks spammer, and I don't play him the conventional meta way that's currently he's being played, Arcane Boots, Blink, etc., etc. I actually play him like we used to do in the good old days, Dota 1 days, where you just build him into an absolute core. So I build him Echo Saber, Orchid, and
Yeah.
I run around killing off supports and even sometimes heroes. You know, his level 25 talent is plus 100 agility. 100
Yeah.
agility, Skaapie.
How much armor that is.
Dude, do you know how fast you're hitting?
So I actually played against the core Knicks like that the other day, and I actually thought it was pretty good. He went Battle Fury though, as
I
his
like
opening line.
I like the Echo, but
Yeah, that's also good because especially when you come out of your invis. But let's be reasonable. I sincerely doubt that they do that.
oh, don't break my heart just yet.
I mean, it's possible, but I doubt it. I like the Bane pickup here. Really good. Life Stealer, fantastic counter to the Life Stealer. Can control him up on that rage. And I assume that's going to be Repo's hero, so we can expect him to be well positioned. So this Life Stealer is going to have a bit of a tough time. But again, we saw in that previous game, LeetPro, I mean, they made sure that RDK got a lot of his farm, but it wasn't their biggest concern. They had Deppy on the backline, so you have an answer for one, you need an answer for another. So we'll see what Deppy's going to play, if it's going to be the Leshrac or if they're picking something else up for him.
Well, they do have the Tusk. LeetPro has picked up the Tusk. He's become one of those staple savers, if you will. He can always just jump in or blink in, ball, save Lifestealer from the Fiend's Grip, and even then charge in onto the Bane, closing that gap and actually tearing down the Bane. I'm a little bit concerned about the Axe. If you leave him a little bit rampant and gets those crucial 3-man calls off or 4-man calls off, can really hurt the side of LeetPro. But it all depends to see on if they can actually get what they need done for the side of Epoch if they can actually play the draft that they want to play.
Queen of Pain, interesting. Well, another thing is, I mean, we spoke about the Bane being good up against the last stealer. Axe is not too terrible either, can lock him down for a period of time, going through the rage, so that's something we can consider. Queen of Pain, I'm assuming that this is a mid lane Lesh because they went for Tusk, who's more than likely post 4, and Warlock maybe post 5. Could be Corlock, but I doubt that. I haven't seen a Corlock in quite some time. But I assume, unless they're going for a very strong offlane deal with the Lifestealer +1 and Leshrac, maybe Tusk, then they're still going to pick up the mid laner. There's just so many options for LeetPro, really. I think Epoch sort of shown their hand here. They're just looking for a core. So you kind of know what they're going to do. You know what the possible pickups are here, maybe.
The question is, do they put
band.
Do they put the Nyx? I mean, because Nyx can do really well in the offlane, so can the Axe. But wouldn't you know also put a bit of farm on the Nyx as well? So Nyx position 4, is that what you're thinking? Nyx position 4, Bane 5, Axe offlane, Queen of Pain mid, and now they're waiting for their core. Is that the way you see it panning out?
I for sure see Nyx Axe laning together, and then the Nyx will try and find more farm by just playing that lane very aggressive and looking for kills. Whereas Bane's just going to be that guy who's going to buy a lot of wards, going to try and get level 6 and focus on ulting the Lifestealer. That's just going to be his job for this game. So I think Nyx, yeah, he definitely isn't going to be spending too much in regards to wards and things like that, if that's what you're getting to.
Something that I may have overlooked a little bit is the Nightmare from Bane was actually really good setup for the X call.
Yeah, it is. It is very nice. And it's also a good setup for Nyx to stun. There's just multiple things. Nightmare is just really good for setting up majority of team fights. You must just be careful of this counter initiation. And Tusk also is very good up against the Nightmare. So, yeah, that's something that they must be aware of. I'm sure this Tusk is going to try very hard to get a Blink Dagger up early because he can just sit back, watch, and if an Axe does get a call, he can jump in and put everyone in a snowball and keep them alive that way. But then they must just be careful of that impale coming out from the next post that, because if they're 4 or 5 of them inside of a snowball, it's going to be a very, very big impale for the next to get, and then follow up from Queen of Pain. So it's going to be, I think these team fights are going to be interesting. Very, very interesting.
They decide to round off their draft with the Weaver from Epoch. So that puts them in their position 1, got themselves the Weaver. I suppose they don't have enough burst to maybe bring him down. Maybe if they can actually maybe tie up the Rock with Split Earth, they can do enough to bring down the damage, bring down the Weaver. Good thing is that Weaver goes Lincolns. It's not going to really help because none of those stun abilities are targetable. So Lincoln's so far. Well, Snowball and Open Wounds. But I mean, that's not enough lockdown to actually deal with the Weaver. I feel the Warlock ult and the Leshrac Split Earth is going to be far more valuable than anything else. And that raises a question again. Does it promote the fact that Weaver gets or doesn't get the Lincolns?
I don't think he gets Lincolns. I mean, it's so easy to pop. Fatal Bonds is just instant pop of Lincolns, and you can initiate right after that. So I've heavily doubted. I think Weaver is interesting. I think they picked up Weaver again to deal with the Lifestealer because he does kite the Lifestealer around a lot. But he, again, like you said, he's easy to burst, and he's not going to have defensive items right up in the beginning. He might need to go for something to give him some HP, the Dragon Lance or something of that sort, but we'll see. The DK, but lane DK up against Queen of Pain.
Right, so we've got 3 melee versus 3 range for the side of Epoch. We'll see how it pans out. But that is going to be your final draft. It is going to be LeetPro versus Epoch. And looking at the draft, Skaapie, give us your best outcome of this game.
I like LeetPro's draft actually here. I think DK and Quap, I don't think anyone dies there unless there's some really good rotations. And so this is a core. It's a core Lesh, right? Leshrac core is just pretty scary. I think the biggest thing for Epoch to focus on is getting that Blink Dagger up on the axe, and he needs to be successful. But other than that, I like LeetPro's draft.
Well, there you have it. From Skaapie yourself, that gives us the outlook. Without further ado, for those of you that are just joining us, I am Jubba, joined by Skaapie, looking here on the side of the Radiant. This time round, it is going to be LeetPro, starting off with RDK playing the Lifestealer. Please bear in mind, some of these players do not believe in using their actual real names. So Mario69 will be RDK, followed up by LFL playing the Warlock. He is the stand-in for ACG not being able to make this game. This is his debut game as well, ladies and gents. He's left the CSGO's team and decided that Dota is better and Dota is life. We've got Whelp playing the Disco Pony, the Leshrak, and last but not least, it is going to be Chadawi, team cap on the Tusk. I was going to make a funny joke, but I was going to call him the Walrus. But he will be the Tusk. And that wraps it up for the side of LeetPro. Take it away for the boys of Epoch.
Alright, so like I predicted, we're going to have the Axe as well as the Nyx queuing up. And Nyx is Nick, by the way. Remember who you are is Nick.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
That is correct.
Axe got the nerfed mangoes, interesting.
The nerfed mangoes.
They've been nerfed. They're now 0.5 regen instead of 0.6, so that's perfect. Oh, big fight here for the ruin though between them. Good stun coming at you, but must be careful. A lot of physical damage potential as Axe. He's gonna race and secure actually 3 bounties for them, and now Nyx needs to be a bit careful. Yeah, what do they have? Shards up in 4 seconds. They could definitely get this kill.
Oh, the dodge almost coming out.
Oh, he surely did. He surely did. Right, there we go. First blood will go the way of For Fun Player. Or
as Whelp.
Yeah, Whelp, sorry. And also the Axe did go for the points into the Battle Hunger, so he's not going to be able to really dominate the lane very early on, but still very good. Good at controlling out these supports. But, gotta finish this up. Fearbender going to be in the mid lane on the Queen of Pain, and in the bot lane, Reaper is going to be laning with Snoops. Reaper playing on the Bane. And Snoop's playing over on the Weaver. I was just thinking, imagine if Reaper plays Meepo, that would be horrible.
Reaper, Meepo. Wow. Yeah, I could see the tongue twist happening there. Let's stay in the top lane though, because this turns out to be the most entertaining lane. Now, I do see most X builds of late have actually been putting that 1 point into Battle Hunger and maxing Battle Hunger, so the supports really struggle in lane, because if they don't get a kill, their HP just continues to die down as well. The outshots do come out though, and I suppose just showing the Axe who's boss of this lane is what good old Chadawi is doing. Yeah,
I mean, Axe still pretty strong hero in general, and we can see the pull coming out here from Nick, but he's in a bit of trouble. Snowball's going to come out onto him, and he doesn't really have much. They can actually trap him for sure, and he's in a lot of trouble. They got shards as well. Definite kill coming at you. So, game this dual lane, we saw them in game 1 how they just outplayed their opponents, and they needed to force that rotation up to the top, and then they had a tri lane, and they're doing it again here. So they're maybe gonna force one of the supports or force this Weaver to solo in this lane, which is saying you really don't want to do. You really don't want to be doing that.
So I want to touch on another little point of the actual players themselves. Whelp and Chadawi came from their former team and have been playing on the previous WRG's lineup together, and they know the way that each other's playing. So the fact that they're actually laning together, it's like they're not even new to the team. They're basically saying, well, boys, this is our lane, and we're going to do what we're going to do, and that is just absolutely wrecked. So it's not even the fact of having to learn each other's play styles and learn the way each other plays. They kind of just know. They just know what they need to do.
Well, Fearbender jumped a bit forward here onto the Dragonite and really didn't accomplish much. In fact, he was lost a lot of HP and actually going to find himself in that bit of pickle. And this is not actually going all that well for the Queen of Pain. You usually expect him to do well against melee matchups. He's got 2 points up into his dagger. But this DK, I mean, it's Epi. He's just really playing well on that DK. and making Fearbender's life pretty hard. That minus damage that Fearbender does get is also a bit of an issue for him, as he's going to really struggle to last it underneath the tower, as we can see.
Well, I mean, DK's actually got a 202 build.
Stunt.
Well,
the creep.
Stunt.
Creep kept him alive for a little bit. Did they find him though? Oh, he broke through the trees? Oh, they got him.
Our shots are too good. Oh,
Yeah,
the mana drain comes out. Call is good though, catches out too. Not going to be... Oh, but the ball keeps them alive! Takes down the axe. And... did they actually miss that stun? No, they never missed the stun. They got the stun off. Did he miss the stun? I actually can't recall. Using the ball. Because the stun came out and the ball, I think, just in time.
With Edict, and the snowball just went... They snowballed onto the next to see if they could get a second, and they just didn't have the mana paying for themselves there.
Skaapie, what would I do without your eyes?
Exactly.
I'm casting this game blind, so I'm using the force to actually tell me what's going on.
Yeah. I believe that.
Bot lane.
It sounds like it.
Oh, bot lane, the sleep comes out. Reaper right-clicking down. The rage comes out. Is it going to be enough? Oh, Snoop's actually deciding not to actually follow up on that.
Yeah, it's a bit risky. I mean, you dive into Nyx, got a Warlock on his back. Sorry, into Nyx.
Top lane. Falls out, Split Earth being used out. The Diabolic Edict is coming out. The shards are good, trapping out the axe for a little bit. They're not going to be able to get a kill off that, but still quite a bit of damage given to both sides here.
Yeah. And this Lesh is actually just farming up a Storm, 20 CS on him. The Axe has really not been able to do much here. And they fine with this lane switch that has come out. They, with having to deal with an Axe +1. Oh, Stunt's in trouble. Stunt is push. Oh, actually that snowball was maybe a bit poor. Maybe might cost. Oh, he was really close to getting away with that one. Push it out, but... just not good enough.
No, that's super unfortunate. Even if they ran down to the shrine up a little bit, and then maybe see if he could have taken a fire. But it's a good result for the side of Epoch. That puts themselves on the board, taking down the Tusk. And Deppy in the mid lane having an absolute ball. Fearbender. Only got Blink in 5 seconds.
Super. Bot lane. Yeah, he's dead. And Snoops must be careful, yeah? They don't have a sentry though, so he'll be able to walk himself on out of this one. Alright. Not too bad.
But not too shabby, although mid lane seems to almost be a stalemate. Fearbender almost going down there though. Fearbender had to go to the shrine, get himself a little bit more mana, a little bit more HP. Deppy gets... Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, all right.
I thought that was going to happen. I really thought so. Oh, greedy.
So just after me saying that mid was a stale, that's what happens. But bot lane, RDK picks up the kill on Snoops. Now top lane, though, the Diabolic Edict is trying to do some work here. Neck. Call's going to be good. Battle Hunger is going to be better. Taking down a good old Walperu. And he hits the deck. Nick surviving. But bot lane, Snoops did go down to RDK. So kills going across the map. A little bit more exciting this time round. And Skaapie coming in, giving RDK a little bit of love. There's the brain sap. He now rages out. Snoops, does he have Skaapie? He does, but he waited until the last second to use it. And he gets the return kill onto RDK. I mean, he tanked quite a bit of damage there just to actually use that Skaapie. And I suppose maybe just making sure that the rage was completely down.
Yeah. That's it was a bit risky, but okay. he got away with it.
I mean, what happens if there was a sentry
he shouldn't
there?
have been caught out there. I mean, you can definitely time between the attack animations. But brought himself quite low, like you say, and he's going to be forced to heal. Still, though, DK is farmed. Last Stealer still got more farm than the Axe. This Weaver, yeah, he got a kill, but he also died in lane. And hasn't actually found all that much, so again, it seems like the laning stage Epoch just not outstanding right now, and I think the matchups haven't been favorable in there for them at all. This Leshrac plus Tusk has been pretty strong up against the Axe, but now the Axe is level 5. He's got 3 points up into counter helix. Things are a little bit more scary especially if the next catches you in a stun.
Blood Earth going to be used out. Earth Shards, Diabolic Edict, Chadawi getting involved. Call, not going to be able to land. They actually played that really well, pulling back. Chadawi getting stunned up, but not going to be enough. Nick trying to run to the cover of his tier 1 tower. Split Earth not going to actually connect. Chadawi actually running behind the towers. They're getting big rotations coming out here from the team. Screen comes out. There's the ice wall to try and block him, but the Fearbender blinks behind. There's the ball keeping him alive for the moment, and he's not going to stay alive for much longer. Fearbender actually picking up the kill there. But I would say that's a rather fair trade. I mean, pulling out the 2 cores, mid and bot, to pick up the kill on the position for Tusk. I would say that's not too bad. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, how can we argue that, right?
Well, you can argue with me. Often I'm right. Often I'm right, and very few times I'm wrong.
I mean, but, it's like saying, oh, let me show you how good I am at math. What is 2 + 2? It's 4.
7. Oh, okay, yeah, 4. Sorry.
Well, but all right, you know, you're often right, but you're also quite often wrong.
That was a right comment, though. That was a right comment.
It was fresh.
Yeah. Well, Deppy having an absolute ball in the mid lane, sitting 63-5, and RDK 49-14. Closest for the side of Epoch is going to be Fearbend on the Queen of Pain, sitting rather at the top. In the bot lane, though, RDK picks up the kill onto the Bane. Not level 6 yet, so Fiend's Grip not online just yet, and no Enfeeble actually being leveled up either. Obviously opting to put a bit more points into the Nightmare. Top lane though, Fearbender throwing a couple of right clicks down here onto Chadawi that don't want to charge under the tier 1. And we've seen what tier 1 towers can do to players.
Yeah, for sure. And I think bot 1's in a lot of trouble. They got Edict, they got Heroes to just pull the waves out. There's the next TPing in. He can use that Spike Carapace. Oh, missed timing there, so that means the TP had already occurred. Axe going to be a bit late on his arrival. Doesn't have Blink or anything to help catch up, but they have already got the chase down here onto the Leshrac, who could find himself in a bit of trouble, but not all that concerned. He's still going to be able to walk himself away from this one. And yeah, that'll be all she wrote. I'm surprised that the next only went 1 point into the mana burn. It's really good up against the Leshrac, who's got very, very high intelligence. But we'll see maybe in the late game how much damage this is going to deal to him. Oh.
Well, Nick, he wants more. He jumps onto Eddie. Can he get out of there? Heals himself. The Spark Earth is not going to catch him. Carapace is actually going to hold well for a little bit, but taking a huge amount of damage. Fatal Bond's doing some business there. And they get the kill onto Nick. And Snoop's low HP and Repo just hiding in the back lines. So they do get the kill onto Nick, surprisingly just being caught a little bit off guard there from the amount of damage that Lesh is actually doing at the moment. And I mean, here he went down rather quick as well.
Yeah, it's very easy to underestimate how much damage a Leshrac does. Yeah, Leshrac is really emits quite a lot of damage, both physical as well as magical. So you always got to be wary of that. And they're going to go straight back for the tier 1 tower, and that's one of the things when you got a Leshrac in your team, that Edict is so strong in these situations.
Top lane though, stunned, he gets caught out, going to get punched out, going to get stunned. Stunned, runs in there trying to get some more Helix off, but there's the Nightmare. It's slowing down Depi Chadawi. Does he decide to tank it up? The call may be to actually go here, and I think he pulls back. So let Depi go in and tank the tower. I think that was the call. Jump into the bot lane rather quick. We've got RDK fighting under the tower. TP coming in from the pony under the tier 1. No shits were given, and just decided that I will do it right here, right now. And Ellie, can he get the last hit? It's not denied, but Fearbender comes in. Ellie, he could go down here. He does have the Scream available. Does he actually decide to use it? No, they don't. Giving the kill to Snoops as well. And we were picking up himself a kill there. TP's to the top lane, trying to see if he can actually try and level things out a little bit more. The TP comes in from Dowie. He wants to get out of there. The weaves have been thrown down. The swarm's coming out. And there's your Fiend's Grip coming out. And Depi, can he survive through this? The call's been used. The axe is done. And that is it. That is what she wrote. The Culling Blade making easy work there of Depi.
Yeah. So this axe is going for the Vanguard first, which is completed, and then going to be going for that big dagger.
Or mid
Looking
lane
to have a
though.
bit of sustainability. Oh, mid lane.
The scream came out. Actually, I think he caught a little bit on Walt, but then Nick comes in, does a chunk of damage, even with level 1, 11. What was I saying there? I can't even remember because Mana Drain did a huge amount of damage on level 1. I don't know how level 1 came out as 11 out of my mouth.
It's, life's difficult.
Life's tough, but life's tough. Like, don't underestimate it. But Stunt, he's in trouble now. They're going to give the kill to RDK. The other two players just hanging around and just striking up a little bit of XP. Thanks, RDK, for taking down the axe.
Two omelets. Two omelets up here for the side of LeetPro. Both the DK as well as the Lifestealer picking that up. So that's interesting. They're going to be hitting very, very hard in this mid stages of the game now that they both have it up, I think. I think DK is quite close. Yeah, he's just a few hundred away. So once he does have that online, they're actually going to be hitting extremely hard in these upcoming team fights. So, Snowball.
Mid lane, oh, they do the dust. Can they find the stun? No, time lapse is going to bring him back. Deppy, can he close the gap? Not going to actually use out the stun. Actually decide against it. They throw down the outshots to actually protect him. There comes out the dust. The Nick doesn't land any stuns, but Ellie's going to go down. The dunk is good. Snowball trying to get Chadawi out of there. Dunk comes in again, and Stunt getting himself a double kill. Deppy just says, right, well, I've had enough of this, and decides to pull his shoot and bail. Stunt running straight past Deppy. I think he didn't even realize that he was there, but there's the call. RDK going to right-click him down. Rage is being used out, and Stunt is going to go down here. There's no two ways about it.
Maybe. He's got dancing shoes on.
Oh, wow. Take me to the party. And it was inevitable, Skaapie. I'd like to say that it was inevitable. Although I was saying, oh my gosh, I would be completely wrong if he did get away. But there is the Rod of a Toss. It's going to keep the Queen of Pain there. Gets stunned out. Oh, wow. The Walrus Punch keeps him alive. But the Fatal Bonds, it's doing its work. Put some damage onto the Bane, boys, if they want to get the kill on the Queen of Pain. And they do. And Ellie actually got the kill. I think he may have had the last word on him.
I think there was a creep that also had Fatal Bonds on it, and they just killed the creep, and it killed Fearbender. So
let's investigate that. Let's investigate it. He took quite a bit of damage from the Lesh. Quite a bit of magical damage. So in my pure honest opinion, he needs to get himself a hood. Thanks to Dota Plus for giving us all the cool little gadgets.
I forgot about this. This is so cool when we watch it. I actually didn't even think about it. This is
Skaapie, don't worry. Sit back, relax, go get a cup of coffee. I'll take over the analyst role. The rod comes out. Carapace is going to be popped for the next. Going to just kind of slow down any attacks coming out from the side of LeetPro. Sneaky, sneaky RDK sitting inside Chadawi, waiting for that ball. Some ball action. He doesn't have his blink just yet. He's about 1,500, 1,700 gold off that blink. But RDK, once none of it, he's out. He's pretty much happy farming at this point in time. Although Fearbender, he smells Lifestealer and may want to go on this.
Yeah, Lifestealer is pretty strong. He's still got Armlet, so it's going to be a tough kill. And they don't really have anything to deal with Fearbender that's there. The Leshrac does, however, have the Rod of Atos, which he needs to make sure he doesn't get caught out by that. If he does get caught out by the Rod of Atos, Fearbender's more than likely dead every time. So he needs to make sure he blinks a decent distance away so that they can't really follow up on it. So that's one of the problems now. The Queen of Pain can't blink in aggressively all the time unless they are certain that the fight's going to be going their way. Because if he does blink in aggressively, or even just to farm, he could potentially just get Atos up and die. So you'll see now Fearbender is actually going to walk everywhere that he farms instead of blinking because of that fear.
Well, we've seen what the root does. Not going to allow him to go anywhere, and he's going to have to be very careful on how he approaches fights now, because I think Deppy is pretty confident that that rod is just going to be used for the Queen of Pain constantly.
Next, scouts out the Lifestealer, farming Ancients. Did that follow up for this one though?
He's actually going to spot it out. He actually decides to back off.
Yeah.
My next would be like, no, I'm going to go in there and try and kill the next.
Oh,
But I suppose that's why I'm not in the Masters League. Deppy transforms into Dragon mode. We do have while picking up the kill into stunts in the mid lane, so let's jump there. The yours is going to be used out. Stun comes down from Nick. There's the swarm. The scream comes out. RDK TP's in, getting the right clicks off. Carapace being used up, but means nothing. Shards are great as Chadawi lines up a kill there. That jumps into the creep, so RDK just playing the bunker game, hiding out, and gets himself 2 kills here for the side of LeetPro. The swarm comes down. The rock's going to be used for the Weaver. They're going to be able to lock him down long enough, and that is going to actually translate into a kill. That is a big kill here for the side of LeetPro. Repo on the sidelines does manage to pick up the return kill here, and Ellie just too much of low, just too much, or too little HP actually. Because I was going to say that was too much of no HP, which would have actually been nice and nonsensical, and I should have just walked off my studio. The jump comes in.
Oh, he has a blink.
And the ball is going to try and find the axe. There's so many players here for the side of LeetPro, but Fearpender jumps in. The axe's Culling Blade is not going to be good enough, but Deppy, he's going to be trying kept alive, but there's the Fiend's Grip. Nothing to actually stop down Reaper yet, and he's going to eventually go down to the magical damage from the Leshrac. They do actually lose Deppy in the backlines. Just too much tick damage coming out from the side of Epoch. The dagger from the Queen of Pain plus the negative what is that actually called? The urn, the negative urn. Call it a negative urn.
Didn't he also have battle hunger on him? I think he had it all.
I think the poor bloke didn't know what to do with himself. And Snoops may actually want to go in this. RDK needs to get himself out of there. Whelp decides to throw another Split Earth, but he actually fakes it, pulling out the Carapace, but there comes down the Veil Scream. And Snoopy eventually picks up the kill onto a Whelp as well. The charge is for the boys of LeetPro to get out of there. Snoop's trying to find Chadawi. Gonna loop around. Tier 1 tower in the mid lane still stands, so can't progress any further for the moment. And they'll just hide under the guise of the Tier 1 stunt. And may actually be caught out here. No, he's gonna just blink out, keep himself safe.
Thinking about it, I saw the Warlock walk there and instead of throwing down the Fatal Bonds, actually 0 points in upheaval. That's interesting. Very underrated spell, but I mean the Fatal Bonds. They've got the Leshrac, they've got the combo. They want to make sure they get as many targets as possible. So fair enough.
I suppose also standing still Warlock just like acts as like yes, please,
yeah,
yes, please come here to me. And I think that's
so the Fatal Bonds. Make sure that there's no blinks. That's the biggest thing here for the Warlock. So just try and get Fatal Bonds onto an Axe and anything else, and just make sure they can cancel the blinks. Because if they can cancel that Axe blink, he's going to be useless in any of the upcoming team fights. So I think that's the only thing they have to cancel blinks. Yeah. So that's a bit of a... That's something that he has to be pretty on point for.
It doesn't matter, Skaapie, continue my boy, because that was rather quick.
Yeah. This is the thing, right? Lesh and Tusk are so strong together. They got almost certain lockdown. It's exactly what we touched on. And the Weaver didn't really go for a defensive item. I was expecting him to go for a Dragon Lance or something just to give him a bit of extra HP from this burst. And he just lacks that. And even like you touched on, maybe just get yourself a Hooded Defiance. But instead of doing that, he opted to go for something aggressive and careful as well.
Top lane, no, the beautiful save from the ball. Yeah, that is beautiful. That is what the Tusk is used for. But the Scream, that is too good. Chadawi, he needs to get out of there. Tazard's a little bit too late to actually make the play onto... Oh, but Reaper cancels out his teammate's TP. And that is... Oh, wow. Okay, so he didn't die, but I mean, that is like... Let me just cancel out my teammate's TP. Why not? Did you see that? Did you actually spot that? That was cute. That was cute. It was like, no, don't leave us, Stunt. We need you to die with us.
He didn't die at least, and they found themselves 3 kills there. So great fight for Epoch. And again, Epoch showing a lot of potential with these team fights in this game. Maybe they can convert this into a victory, and we can find ourselves a game 3. We'll have to see if that comes to fruition.
Well, I mean, previous game did go to 50 minutes. We're now sitting 23 minutes into this game. And the boy is looking at taking it in the full 9 yards. When this game gets a little bit later, who does it actually favor? I mean, is this... We'll just hold that, though. Just hold that thought for a second, Skaapie. But don't forget my question. Okay. Hunting down an invisible next. Okay, and so Nick realizes that maybe it was just a fake tailing. Oh, but there we go. Nick finds out the Tusk. Chitawi, can he survive? The call wasn't good enough, but the stun was, and Tusker does go down.
That call was just like a taunt, you know, like how you would taunt.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Oh, silence out.
Dead.
Dunk, good. I mean, Epoch getting the rotations and beautiful ganks coming out from them, and this just translates not enough vision in the Radiant side of the jungle. They didn't even see this coming.
Yeah, and they're going to now lose the tier 2 tower. And you'll find one of the things that LeetPro do very well is trade. Even though they lost the team fight, they're going to trade something, but maybe they're going to trade the life of this Leshrac. This is not an easy fight for him. Especially up against... Oh, jeez.
Well, 2 of them. Whelp hiding in the bushes. I never knew this place existed. Thank you, Whelp, for showing me. I didn't know this place existed. This is incredible.
Oh, my God.
Dusted, everything. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Snoop's figuring him out.
They found him.
They figured it out. They found me. It's like a game of Where's Wally? And then they found him. There's your reward, guys. Well done for finding Wally.
I mean, I say they trade, but they're not doing too fantastic. 3k net worth lead in the favor of Epoch. Epoch has got complete control. Look at the vision game from them. Look at the opponent's jungle.
I can't.
Completely watered up.
I can't change my fog of war. My keys are a little bit buggered, so as soon as I press a button, I'm going to lose it.
Yeah, I have the same issue. But if you just look at where their wards are placed, I mean, you got one over here giving you decent vision like this. Oh, snowball, sorry.
Snowball comes, but Blink comes out from Chitawi, keeping him alive. The sleep did come down onto RDK. I did hear a call, did I not? Oh no, it may have just been a fake
call. That was a call. He snowballed in and then blinked out, and the axe called trying to catch him. But
there we go, Deppy. Gonna right click down the axe, even with Blade Mail. There's the ball. There's the entire team trying to bring down Stunt. The kick is going to be good enough. Going to keep him quiet. And shut up, lol. Is still got battle hunger on him. He's not too perturbed about that. Level 4 in his dragon skin. Going to keep him alive. No problems.
Yeah. You know what you must not underestimate is that level 25 talent of the axe with the battle hunger. Plus 120 damage. DPS. Do you know how much damage it is? The duration is 12 seconds. So it's an additional 1,000. I'm going to butcher this, but it's a lot of damage.
I enjoy a good biltong, so butcher away.
It's a lot of damage, right? It's well over 1,000 extra damage, magical damage that comes out from him from a spell that's super cheap to throw out. And you can throw it out quite often. I mean, what's the cooldown? 10 seconds, 5 seconds on max level? Not a problem. And
that is
you add extra 120 onto it, so it's 160 times 12. You can do the math.
No, you're the teacher.
No. This is it's enough. I'm not a math teacher. I'm a geography teacher.
Oh, so. Nick comes in, tries to find the sun. Actually misses it, throws out the dust. The TP's come in. The ball is going to find Stunt. This may be the call to go. The Lincolns out onto the axe. They pop the Lincolns now. They're going to use the rock. There's the upheaval. The Rod of Atos going to catch out the Weaver. Split Earth is not going to actually connect, but the R shards are going to be good enough. Good blockage there. Nick can't get out of it, and he goes down as well. While this is all happening, the rest of the side of Epoch says, well, let's just see what we can get done on this tier 2. And that actually opens up Rosh here for the boys of LeetPro. And all of a sudden, they are looking in a little bit of a better control. Yeah, they're going to pick themselves up the Aegis, get themselves that token, and the boys from Epoch just have to back off. They may be able to put a little bit of pressure on the lanes, but I think after this point, charge down mid.
Yeah. Bot lane is going to be pushed in, but the wave's got a long way to travel. You can see Weaver's cut the wave, and Fearbender's also clearing it up here. So these creeps are just going to march straight down the lane, but I don't know. I don't think they are planning on doing much. They don't want to do the same mistake that Epoch did in the previous game, where they got Aegis, ran to the high ground, all died, and lost the game.
Well,
At the end of the day, that's actually what happened in the previous game. Because
yes.
Epoch were doing really, really well. They got an Aegis, looked like they were going to win. Then they just ran in and died. So, probably here for the Lesh.
Yeah,
Not
he's
big-
in trouble.
big
Stun's good. Mana drain's good. Carapace going to keep the Lesh locked in position. And good old Whelp goes down. Bot lane, no screen comes out. Bean's grip being holding the Dragon Knight. There's the dust. And Fiabena picks up the kill on the DK as well. Back to top lane. Snoop's very low HP. RDK trying to see if he can find himself the kill. And actually using Infest, I would imagine, to actually bring that down. That is on cooldown. As Snoops is actually just going to shrine it up and be rather happy at the moment.
Yeah, the Sax is close to Shadowblade, so he's going to be able to use that more like a smoke. And a lot of people say, oh, why you get Shadowblade on Axe when you got Blink? But you essentially use the Shadowblade as a sort of like a permanent smoke that you can use. You just go invis and just hopefully there's no sentries around to scout you out. And then obviously they won't see you approaching and you can really set up nicely for your team. Or even get some solo kills. So that's going to be a big item, in fact, for him to pick up. It's going to really be a game changer in that regard.
Well, Skaapie, I do want to just say that I was totally incorrect. The Weaver felt that the Lincolns was actually necessary. And
yeah, there's eels up now on the left rack, so it's actually fine. Which is something we didn't consider. But still, again, you can easily pop that instantly with a Warlock and go into the eel, so...
yeah,
I
well,
mean,
it's always Rod of a toss and then into Yules, and because I think Whelp actually has both the Rod of Atos and Yules.
yeah.
We can actually
so
check that really quickly. Yeah, so he's got really easy mechanics to actually pop that Lincoln's really free of charge. But here we go. Chudawi jumps in, gets the ball off onto Nick. There's the Carapace, going to actually keep RDK stunned out. The right clicks from Snoop's going to try and work out. The Yule's been used out onto the next assassin, but there comes down the rock. Snoops gets brought down easy peasy. The charge may be called to charge forth and find ye the repo. The Tusk has actually been nightmared out. Going to be slept for the moment. How did they not see repo? Well, there's the Rod of Atos. Split Earth is going to be good enough. RDK going to right click away. And Bane can't do anything from this point in time. And they've lost 2 for the side of Epoch. While they're trying to pressure the bot lane, I think LeetPro are just going to charge straight on into mid. So this could this turn into a trade? Who turns out first?
Aegis. They do have Aegis, so I don't think they want to make this trade. They got to send someone down here to defend. Question is who. There's a TP up on the Dragon Knights, and he wouldn't be too bad up there. But Fiabena, he's still hanging around, doing a lot of damage to his tier 3 tower. They're going to look to try and trade, it seems, and this might just not be of good value. They do both lift up, though.
Okay, no, I think they're sending back the DK. The call comes in. They're going to find RDK. There's the ball. Oh, beautiful save. Not taking an ounce of damage, RDK. But he's still going to go down. Does lose the Aegis. Chudawi gets another dunk. They're going to charge forward. They're going to bring down the Leshrak. And now RDK needs to run himself out of there. He's going to just TP himself out. Hopefully it's enough. It is. And the stun misses. Depi actually TP'd out earlier to try and stop Fiabenda from putting on any pressure. But as he TP'd back, Fiabenda actually TP'd back in. So a good way to actually split the fight. And it seems like LeetPro blinked first.
My friend, this is going to be a late night. I
possibly,
really feel like Epoch have a very good chance of winning this game.
Absolutely.
It really
it's 26-26, but 5k advantage, and they feel a little bit more in a dominant position. They do have buybacks available. So Depi has actually Shadowbladed up. Do they actually decide to go in? They've just dropped the wall, but there they go. They jump in on the Bane. They're not going to be able to catch out the Lifestealer. He actually raged up, but the Blade Mail doing a little bit of work there. It's going to be enough. But there comes the save from the ball. Jumps in.
Wow.
They drop down the axe. The Bane is dead. The Yule's up onto the next assassin. Upheaval not going to allow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. How Nick managed to actually blink out of that. That was, I think that was a booby from LeetPro.
He actually had no vision on him, which was a bit of a blunder by them. But I must say one thing. Now he's been on point with his shots. He hasn't usually. I mean, for sure that he's gonna be good at it, but he hasn't made one blunder on his Tusk.
Absolutely, yeah.
I feel like he's been
perfectly.
spamming this. I should go look at his history.
Like he's perfect positioning. Like you have to like almost throw it in front of the hero to make sure that you catch it. But while the heroes are running, to actually throw it out and not actually make that blunder, you're absolutely 100% correct. But now here we go. The pressure comes on into the tier 3. The barback comes out from the Nyx Assassin, or formerly known as the Nerubian Assassin. Bar's back. Axe is back in 2 seconds. Repo trying to close the gap. Ely could be in a little bit of trouble here. Nick trying to close the gap. And I think this is going to be a pretty much dead Warlock. They're going to just say, right, cheers, boys. I've created space. I've done my job. I've kept you alive.
Yeah, he got decapitated, and they're good with that. Checking the Roche pit. May respawn in about 2 minutes. It's still a long time before we even know what time Roche will pitch up again.
1 minute 37.
But that's potential time. Then it's going to be the actual timer after that, so we're not too sure.
I thought that actually gives us the exact timing.
No, it gives us the May time. It may. Oh, geez, bot lane. What a catch. What a catch. That is a big catch for them. Killing Fearbender, he's really been carrying his team right now. He's far ahead in net worth. And it's 847 gold into the pocket of Deppy. If there's one individual in the team that can make anything of that kind of gold, that's the one.
Not only that, look at the net worth difference now.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're still going to take Shrine, so that net worth is definitely going to go back into the favor of LeetPro. So they're going for racks. This is risky. I think this is very risky.
I know. I think this is actually perfect. I mean, that Scream has been doing so much work from the Queen of Pain, and that is a huge amount of damage that Epoch is going to actually be lacking. Chadawi throws out the Archrage. Repo sleeps out Chadawi. Nick waiting to line up that stun. They're going to try and control out the Tusk. They're going to get the one melee Rex in the mid lane. The buyback comes in from Fearbender. That's going to be good enough, and they're going to actually run back. So that was not worth it for them to actually take the tower. It was just actually to force the buyback. Mid lane, though, they do get the kill onto the Warlock. Ellie, has been nice knowing you. But maybe it's time to join CSGO again, my boy.
Yeah, that's what's up. But crazy thing is that Tusk survived. I thought he was certainly dead. I wasn't even watching anymore. I was like, okay, they lost Tusk. I was even going to say that.
Oh, top lane. Oh, that is horrible. Whelp getting caught out. Spy Carapace.
You just can't afford to do things like that. That's just greedy. A bit greedy from Whelp, to be fair. Playing against the Nyx. Stand in the lane. See, now the Roshan timers come up now with the full time, so 55 seconds. Then it's certainly up. That says will respawn. Previous one says may respawn.
Oh, does it say may?
Yeah, so the first one will say may, and then this one will say will.
Yeah,
remember, then even with the old timer, it would tell you when the potential timer will come up, because it's still up to RNG. But
Deppy, he's got to no mana. There's the BKB. Going to be holding him in position. Goes straight through that BKB. Now the right clicks come in. Fearbender cleans him out. Now Chitawi trying to find himself a little bit of space here. Can he actually find it? Blinks in, blinks out. Fearbender jumps in under the tower. There comes the BKB. They're charging forward. Stunt. Can't get the call off. They actually decide back off of that. And Fearbender gets the triple kill. Tier 2 tower under threat at the moment. Or soon to be. As, what are they actually doing? It looks like they may actually go top tier 2.
Ooh, was that a GG? That must have been a mistake. Surely. But tier 2 towers, they need to get tier 2 towers to make sure they can take racks. So no buyback's going to be forced out as of yet. And it seems like they're going to back themselves out instead. So not going for much more.
I think playing a little bit more conservative at this point in time. They know the strength of the side of LeetPro, and I think it was just lucky kills that they got from them. And they still do realize the full strength. I mean,
this is big.
I mean, 40 minutes into the game, and it's 30-32. LeetPro with 1k net worth advantage. But now, Epoch's going to pick up the Aegis and cheese. This is high ground push.
Advantage. Epoch, so
Epoch's got the net worth advantage.
yeah, I mean, look at the graphs. Oh, jeez. Look at those graphs. They tell a story, eh? Wow. Real up and down situation there. As Epoch... LP had a very good start. The laning stages were good, and then LeetPro did... Oh, sorry, Epoch did very well. And then you can see when the Aegis was picked up, how the net worth started to spike back up for LeetPro, but Epoch pulling it right back into their favor. And that's what I said, this week could have a very long night ahead of us, as this could very easily go into a game 3.
Skaapie, who needs sleep? I don't need sleep. I was forged. I was forged from the gods above.
Yeah, no, you were. I remember. I was there.
I was there. Oh my god! So what does that make? What does that make you, my daddy?
Oh God! Come on. Oh man, look at that! Look at this! Look at this ward over here. Look at the sentry. How it just misses. The line is here. That's crazy.
Which one are we looking at?
This ward over here.
Yeah, but which
line.
Which
the sentry on the high ground over
here.
here.
Oh wow!
I just saw them de-ward the other sentry that was there, but they didn't get that ward. So.
Oh wow! Okay. Wow, that is actually really super close. Okay. Sure. All right. Well, look. Looks like LeetPro, they're actually congregating top. Service delivery issues in the top lane. So the boys here are deciding to riot out the dire top jungle here. Maybe they're trying to fake something out. They're actually hiding here in the bush. So maybe when they try and see if they can find something. What do you think their plans are? Maybe just bait with Whelp potentially.
Yeah. See if they can bait a Nyx into a tight position, but. All they're going to get is an axe, and that's not a favorable target. And they're going to realize that Peerbender's in the bot lane maybe soon. That could give them a potential go-ahead. Yeah, as you can, I thought something like this would happen. They're going to look like Lesh is playing defensively, see if they can force a Nyx, but it doesn't matter. Epoch says, well, we're just going to take bot Rax maybe. You don't want to come back. We know you're not here. Oh, mid.
Well, there comes the ball. Jadawi finds out stunt. Nick, the life stealer, actually jumps in, starts getting some work done. The scream's going to be good. They may actually lose the players here. RDK trying to find the play here. Snoop's actually trying to work on Ellie as the Fiend Group's going to take down RDK. And that is a very well played maneuver coming out from Epoch. I mean, most of the Epoch team was bot lane, and then before you know it, they just jumped in, found the kill, and now Whelp's going to pay with his life as well. He goes down as well. Snoop's picking himself up a double kill. The only person to survive through that will be Deppy, and hopefully he can do enough just to postpone the time. Pretty much buybacks on all the cores. The only one not available is going to be the Warlock. Skaapie, I mean, that... What went wrong there? Because it looked like LeetPro were like lining up this rail gun of a maneuver, and then all of a sudden just got taken down.
I just think that was a big blunder for them to decide to go on an axe who has blink, and they didn't do damage to him. It just seems like they asked for that to happen. Fearbender was back there, he just gets so much damage down onto them. It was, I don't know, that was just a big mistake by them, I think. And high ground's now under threat.
Well, the Fatal Bond's been thrown out onto the axe, prevents the blink. But that's it. Depic goes in, tries to throw out the stun, actually fakes out the BKB from Depi Repo. He's going to try and survive. The Lincoln's actually being cast onto him, so he's going to go down. But if they just get a Bane off this is not worth it. They did actually have to get the buyback from... they actually got the buyback from Whelp, which is not the person that you want to be buying back, but nonetheless, they needed to get more out of that.
They didn't lose Rax. I think that's... okay, it's not the end of the world. One buyback was used, kept the buyback on the Lifestealer. Lifestealer needs to make sure they can get this Abyssal Blade up as soon as possible, because he's the only chance that they have at killing Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain doesn't have a Lincoln Sphere.
And Chadawi being caught out of bounds completely. He goes down. But they jump in. They're going to try and down bring Stunt now. They do eventually find him. And that is it. That may be enough for them to actually go in. The Bane is down. The Axe is down. They've lost Chadawi on the Tusk. But Stunt and Repo are down for Epoch. This could be a call to try and push in a little bit of top racks. But the Nyx Assassin is looking to see if he can actually find a little bit more here. Going to try and spot it out. A couple of pings. Do they know that he's here?
Queen of Pain's Aegis ran out, so that's something we must also acknowledge. Yeah, gem up on the Nyx, so that's really good for them. I actually don't know when that was picked up. Land on my side there. Yeah, that's a really big pickup for them. Having this gem is going to give them such good control of the map.
I think they picked it up in their previous fight. Because Weaver's also got the gem. While we're talking about gems and vision, Fearbender gets himself up a kill on the Warlock.
BKB used though. He had to use BKB for that, so that's okay. It's not great by any means, but it's not the end of the world actually.
It was still like a fully charged, like a half fully charged BKB, so it's now down to 7 seconds.
Yeah, so that's pretty good for them. And it also means that they're not going to do much from here because Fearbender doesn't have BKB. 30 seconds, they know that it's somewhat safe. But I say that.
And Deppy gets gone on here, but he may be able to bring down the Nyx. He does. Deppy right-clicking away. The TP's come in, brings down Fearbender, and Deppy right-clicking like an absolute animal. Takes down 3. And Deppy definitely had his Penutra this morning.
Mistakes were made there. That's exactly what I was saying. I was just saying that. They're not going to do anything because the BKB's down to the Queen of Pain. What do? They go and do something and everyone dies because Queen of Pain doesn't have BKB to deal enough damage.
That
was a big mistake. Big mistake. They could lose a lot here. They force a buyback out from the Nyx. Queen of Pain does have a buyback. Might even need to use it here.
Well, there comes out the BKB. Do they actually force out enough of the Weavers? I think they may be actually content with that, and the TP comes in from Whelp. So that is the call to back off RDK. Maybe sticking around a little bit too long there. Warlock does actually have some gems and sentries in his infantry. Does he decide to pop it? Only time will tell.
Tusk is coming up. He's got the gem. Can't overextend into that. Tusk does have gem now, so that advantage that they had with the vision is now very, very painfully against them. And Nyx is gonna have a lot more limitation about the freedom, especially the freedom that he was using earlier.
That was, I mean, Deppy is just an absolute monster at the moment. They had 3 heroes going on him and they couldn't even bring him down. I do want to ask though, I mean, he's got his Shadow Blade. The reason for not going into Silver's Edge, maybe to deal with the Axe and his Helix. Or do you think that's what he may? Well, it looks like he's actually lined up his Mullion, but not going into Silver's Edge. Yeah, worth, Mjolnir, not worth.
What is he replacing Mjolnir with? That's a question for me.
Probably Shadow Blade.
Jeez, I don't know. I think the Shadow Blade's paid off pretty good dividends for him so far. So.
The Blink doesn't actually give him any stats.
Yeah, fair enough. But the Blink's also been fantastic for him. He needs to backpack that Blink, if anything. But it's a long way. He will definitely want to save buyback before he does anything. Yeah.
Bot lane, they get the Fiend's Growth onto RDK. Ellie dies, not before he gets the rock out. Call comes in, trying to deal with RDK. They bring him down.
Top lane, yeah.
The Rock's trying to do some work, and the TP comes in from Reaper. Not going to be enough. And the big TPs are coming in, trying to deal with his team as the stun comes out from the Nyx. Snoops around. Chadawi just trying to create space. The TPs come in. They're trying to get some work done in the top lane. They do take down the tier 3. Deppy trying to get out of there. He blinks out. Fearbender trying to close the gap. So will Whelp blink out. And the charge is on, but it's not going to be good enough. And they do get out. They lose 3 from the side of LeetPro and none from Epoch. But they put a lot of pressure on the top tier 3 tower. They actually lost the tier 3 tower and almost got the melee.
Well, Weaver's got 2 gems currently, so they lost the gem, but they lost the tier 3 power, and they lost 3. So wait, they lost a gem and lost
2
3
gems.
heroes, and all they got was a tier 3 tower. I don't think the value is really there for them. But Roshan's up, and this is going for Epoch, and this is fantastic for them. Epoch looking in a good position here.
I mean, what? As LeetPro, what do you do from this position?
As LeetPro?
Yeah, I mean, well, what gets them back? Because
I mean, Warlock ults down. That was also thrown in that fight. That's 60 seconds. They don't have that. They're going to have to rely heavily on the DK dealing a lot of damage in these team fights because... And he can't afford to die. He doesn't have enough money for buyback. He's 900 gold off. That's a significant amount off.
oh wow, it did. Oh, okay. I thought I thought Repo by mistake actually activated his refresher because X actually gave him the refresher and actually popped it. And now Walp just goes down.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? The Nyx is so good up against him with the mana burn.
Deppy though, actually saw the glimmer cape glimmer and immediately blinked out, so they know something is up. And Epoch, they're looking at it, putting on quite a bit of pressure here. RDK pushing out the top lane. Maybe he can force a couple of rotations, maybe get a TP or 2 to the top lane. Jadawi blinks out, making his way top, but the charge is on, trying to close the gap there. Oops. Going to be able to spot out Jadawi, and that's going to be a problem. He gets orchided out. Can he get enough to the shrine to keep himself alive? He's going to be there, but so much damage. And he goes down as well, even under the protection of the shrine. But top lane, this is sneaky deaky. No creeps in the base. Do they just go straight tier 4s? Yeah, Deppy's made the call. Tier 4s. This could be a base race. They decide against it. They're now attempting it. And Deppy going to work on the range. RDK TP's back. They throw down the rock. They're going to be able to defend mid lane. As all the TPs come in, they're going to force back the side of LeetPro out of the base. And the call is going to be there. Deppy's going to lose his life. Does have buyback. And that is going to be enough to put a little bit more of a dink in the side of Epoch. Not being able to actually finish out that mid lane for Epoch, they'll be pretty disappointed about that, though. Yeah. Oh, but a hunting squad here. Oh, good dust coming out. There's the Carapace. Now he's going to get stunned out. Snoops pops it out. There's the Fiend's Grip going to hold out RDK. That is a problem. The right click's coming out onto Ellie. That is going to be good enough to bring down the Warlock. There comes out the second Fiend's Grip. Refresher being used. And RDK hits the deck. Buybacks across the board except for the Tusk. And this is going to force quite a few buybacks here for the side of LeetPro. Wow.
I think they might lose racks even with buybacks.
All the blinks come in. There's the sheep.
Thanks.
Deppy jumps in. There's the sleep. There's the ball. They're going to lose the Queen of Pain. But that's just Aegis down on the deck. Pain gets called out. He gets spotted out. And it's enough control to actually keep the Queen of Pain there. Fearbender hits the deck. And that is going to be the sign to actually pull back. Whelp once more. Can he actually find the X? That is massive.
Queen got no buyback for 1 more minute, so they might actually just go for the end.
Oh wow, this could be big errors were made, but here comes the change. RDK jumps in. They're not going to be able to pick up the kill. The buybacks have come in, and now the Weaver. Is there going to be enough? Warrior's Punch. It's going to be good enough. Walker's Punch, and now stunt. He's in a little bit of trouble. First whiff from the ice shards coming out, but it is not going to be. It's going to be good enough, and that is it. GG has been called. Epoch's backs have been broken.
No buyback.
And LeetPro from nowhere.
Axe's buyback, but yeah. Oh boy, wow. That was a good game. This was a great game of Dota, I must say.
It was going left and right. I don't know if I was expecting that kind of outcome.
Yeah, I mean, Epoch has really upped their game from the last time I saw them play against LeetPro. LeetPro sort of demolished them this time around. Yes, LeetPro had a stand-in, but Epoch's general gameplay is looking far better from the last time I watched, and they weren't in a bad place then, so definitely looking to be a very strong team.
I think they lost their composure a little bit when all their buybacks were on cooldown, when Fearbender didn't have his buyback. He did have the Aegis, so I suppose maybe that's his call was, okay, well, I got the Aegis, we can attempt high ground. But they just focused, the LeetPro just focused on Fearbender so much that he couldn't even blink out, even with BKB being used out. That Abyssal Blade from RDK did its work and paid its dividends.
Twice they lost because of the same mistake, just jumping in with an Aegis and not really slow sieging. They just committed, maybe overcommitted. So bit of an error maybe there. There's a few things that they can definitely look back on. I mean, like initiating when BKBs were on cooldown, that didn't work out for them. But other than that, I think they played well. They really did. I think they can just iron out a few of those errors and they'll be in a very good position.
If we were expecting a one-sided game, it was definitely not that.
No,
it was
not
definitely not one-sided. So we have got some big teams in SA Dota that are making their way to the top. And LeetPro is one of them, but Epoch is definitely amongst them as well.
Absolutely. Very strong team.
Right, well, I guess that's it, Skaapie. Anything else you want to add before we sign off, sign out?
Not too much more. I think good night's rest is required. If this went to a game 3, I would have been struggling. I was really struggling here at the end of this game, but it was entertaining at least, so it kept me going. But yeah, can't wait for a good night's rest and hopefully see everyone soon.
Right, perfect. Well, thanks for those of you that joined us in game, and for those of you that joined us on stream. Do give us a subscribe on the stream. Hopefully we'll be bringing you a couple of more games as things do start heating up. I'm Jubba, joined by Skaapie. You can get him on his Twitter handle at Skaapie. Send him a message. Tell him how much you love me.
At Skaapie Dota.
At Skaapie Dota. But just Twitter Skaapie and tell Skaapie how much you love me. To his Twitter.
Do that.
Okay.
No,
and then you can do the same. You can Twitter me at Jubba Gaming and tell me how much you love me. Sorry, Skaapie. Anyway, from myself, Jubba and Skaapie, wish you a pleasant evening and a great week further. From ourselves, good night and God bless.
Good night.